guys, I hope everybody's doing well. So I am very excited to do this reading. This is going to be a collab with Anastasia. Now her channel is called the Guyana Ascended Tarot. She used to have a channel called Ascended Cafe, and she redid her channel and she had some issues and things going on. So we want to go over and show her some love, of course. And I so much appreciate her and her energy. She is someone that is my go-to, especially if I'm just needing some sound advice and someone that provides me with a few giggles. She's always someone that I get into her readings and she has a particular way of making me laugh. She's down to earth and she just has the ability to be expressive, and she just kind of says what she's feeling in a way, and I don't know, I just really enjoy her personality in her readings. So please go over and check her out. If you're coming from her channel, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate the opportunity. Please, if you will, just go ahead and like this video, like her video at least. That's a very simple way to repay for the tarot reading. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to get into what can you expect in this relationship. Now, this doesn't mean this has to be a romantic relationship. You may be tuning in for a friend, someone that you work with, maybe a family member, something like that. But it could absolutely and usually always results into love. So with that being said, okay, so we are going to start here with this is called the 7 Energy Oracles, and I'm going to give them a quick shuffle, and this is how we're going to pick a pile. So I'm going to do 4 piles. I usually always do 4 piles here. I'm going to go ahead and pick the cards, and then I'll turn them over as I get them all out. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Okay, so pile 1, it says number 6, it is what it is. Okay. Pile 2, number 17, the Storyteller. Pile 3, number 2, Roots of Abundance. And pile 4, y'all have number 32, Quietening the Mind. Okay, so what can you expect in this relationship? So like always, the timestamps are going to be down below in the description box. And there's always like this little bit of a meditation after the intro. If you want to pause it right there, just kind of take a deep breath. The 2 most important things I would say is, when picking a pile, always make sure you're setting your intentions, whatever you need to hear for your highest good. It's always very, very important. And then also remember that you are always in control of this reading. This is a video. You have the ability to click off at any time if it starts to feel uncomfortable. These are meant to be helpful, not hurtful. So always utilize that and keep that in mind. Okay? So timestamps, like I said, will be down below, and I will see you at your bottom. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose number 6, it is what it is. Okay. So the number 6 is about healing, right? For me. The 6th house is about work. So for some of you, this could be somebody that you work with, perhaps. But the most significant thing that's coming off this card for me is this door being shut. With it is what it is, I feel like for some of you, this may be a relationship that is closed, has came to an end, is closed. You see there's 2 locks on this door as well. So this could be you wondering this even, what's going to happen, because we're all talking about what you're expecting in the relationship. So for some of you, I do feel like that this is a relationship that at this time is, like, the door is closed here. And this is something that you're just wondering about, what you can expect moving forward. 6 being healing so much for me. And then you also have that idea of balance, and working effort, what effort's going to be put in or not. it is what it is too. Feels like you've had to come to this conclusion of this, like to where it's just going to be what it's going to be, or it's just going to be however it's going to be. And yeah, there's a lot of emphasis too on healing here. All these stars. Stars are about having a particular hope, you know, wish, idea of what everything could actually end up being like. But that's still a wish. It's just a dream is a dream, right? Something to wish on. So you do have things that you would say that you would want to happen within the relationship, but right now these are just ideas, just dreams. Okay, so you may hear my kids in the background. I have 3 boys. I'm a single mother, and yeah, you're gonna hear them. So just be aware of that. I don't really get any complaints or anything about it, but they are all home right now, and they're also rambunctious. They've got things going on, so you may hear door shuts. I'm just warning y'all. Something's going on here too for y'all in the relationship. I mean, maybe there's a lot of interference or a lot of moving parts. You know, a lot of outside factors that could have gotten in the way of this relationship here. I'm just going to get into the tarot. I don't know why I don't really feel called to get oracles at this time. But we'll see what happens. I will definitely get some to clarify and for advice. So the Oasis Tarot is a newer deck. I haven't used it too terribly much, but it's a beautiful deck. It's not what you expect from the back, I can tell you that. That could have been something here too, like you didn't expect something to be what it was. It doesn't look on the outside, it kind of looks like everything else. You know, there's this pattern or way that you're seeing this connection or this person seemed very like you had them figured out, I guess. But that's not what this deck is consistent of, and you'll see there's lots going on here in this deck. All these bright, different colors, you know. King of Cups in reverse, Scorpio energy. Yeah, there's something here that's changed. There's a lot of unstable emotions about how you feel about that, too. You don't know how you feel about that. Okay. Page of Swords came out in reverse. There may be some kind of energy of spying going on here, trying to figure some things out. There's also a lot of unspoken truths that are here as well. What's going to happen? What can they expect in this relationship? You have the Ten of Cups here. I'm going to take it in reverse. It's trying to go the other direction, but I am a reversal reader, by the way, so just so you're aware of that. All it is it's when you study tarot, you can study, I don't know why I'm telling y'all this. I feel obligated. So when you study tarot, you can study just the upright version of what that is. But there are so many different types of emotions and you know, psychological stuff that's going on with the cards there that can be the reverse side of it. And those are very important too. So it's kind of like where the energy's leaning. That's how I see reversals. I mean, I can still read the same energy even if it was upright, to be honest. By the other cards, I would figure that out. Some of y'all may be wondering about tarot or wanting to look into that or something. Anyway, back to it. You have a Page of Pentacles. There's something to do with the message or communication that's here. And it could have to do with this Ten of Cups in reverse is when there's some kind of an emotional ending. I really want to get some clarifiers here, though. Page of Pentacles is about a lesson or understanding that you have. It can also be about a tangible or physical offer of some sort. And there's the first knock. Yes?
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow?
They kept saying Saturday. And apparently, I guess I missed the memo because it's now Sunday.
Okay.
After being told it was Saturday multiple times.
Okay. Well, sorry. Go back to bed. Love you.
Hurry up. Right, love you too.
Sorry, that was my oldest. See, told you. He's a teenager. He's 17, by the way. So That's the way, if y'all don't know, if y'all don't have teenagers, that's the way the schedule goes. It's like, at one minute you're doing this one thing, this place, and then the next minute you're doing this thing not happening, or you're doing it a different day. It's a very chaotic schedule that they keep. Anyway, that might have something to do with this too, is because we talked a lot about outside interference. The Six of Pentacles, golly, I just had to take a deep breath for some reason. Balancing something out here was a big deal with the Six of Pentacles. Remember, y'all have the card 6, okay? It could have caused the ending, or there could have been a misunderstanding, something to do with the emotions of things. So there's some kind of balance coming into play in the future about that, if that makes sense. Let's get one more. Yeah, you have a Nine of Swords. Yeah, that one's heavy. Cancer energy may be relevant here with this 6-9 being here. There's something to do with, I don't know why I just heard this, but there's something to do with righteousness or morals or values and some sense of stability around that. That also, like, boundaries. Take that as confirmation. Sorry, she's upset about the school. Something to do with the school. No, I read that later. What? That has something to do with this, guys. So as a reader as well, I take like everything that happens around me, and you can tell there's a lot that's going on. I take everything that's happening around me into the reading. It means something to me. It's being addressed or pointed out, you know, in the energy. It's like a extra signal or sign. Some of y'all, I'm telling you, are really, really, really thinking about like looking into tarot or wanting to learn more about it or something like that. Okay. Anyway, this Nine of Swords that's here, see how she's texting me and what she's talking about is something that's controversial that not everybody agrees with, that's happening or going on, and it has to do with donations being made. It's a small town. So there's something to do with like the politics or something to do with some sort of balancing out of things and morals and values and stabilizing something. There's this energy here of learning how to adjust. Does that make sense? That's here, and there's some big dynamics around that. This could be things big, like distance, right? Or community, or religion. You know, these are like big things. There's something to do with balancing that out in some way that has a more intense, like, healing energy around it. How do I put that into words better? The understanding that you gained from this relationship has some kind of significance around how you approach life, where other people can benefit in that and within it in that way. It's like there's some kind of big light that comes out of this, if that makes sense. So if you've been wondering that about like in this relationship about it, what it was as far as being dark or light energy, I feel like you are transmuting that into light, if that makes sense. Like you will in the future. Because that's what we're talking about. I gotta ground myself a little bit because I feel like I'm getting too far off into the healing part and I need to stick to my topic here. I'm trying to explain that there's healing here that's going to take place in the future, but it comes with a breakthrough. So someone here there's something to do with taking a lesson and using it to balance a situation out, but there's a lot of stress and anxiety within that. So let's see what's going on here with yeah, strength. So this is an overall lesson about strength, about your internal strength, how internally strong you are. So you've had to undergo like big, significant challenges, right? That's what I talked about earlier, like big things, where there's this sense of unimaginable, like, compromise. Now, how do I explain that without, some of y'all are going to immediately be triggered and think that that's a toxic thing, and it's not. It's like, I don't know, if there's, let's say you really love somebody that's halfway across the world, there's just distance there. It's a unimaginable compromise, right? For others. It's something that's like that's here. I hope that makes sense. And Leo energy's over here. It requires a lot of courage and internal strength. See, the trees, the bamboo, the palm trees, it bends, it doesn't break under pressure. And the pressure would be like, see the cross, the sacrifices. So there's some sort of sacrifices here that were made, or that has to be made. Why is that Page of Swords in the reverse? These cards are just flying out too, by the way. Look, you have another 10 here. 10 of Swords in reverse. This is something that could have, I feel like a lot of things have been sinking in. Okay, so this is like a timeline it's fixing to show me, okay, as far as what to expect. So I feel like here, there's this significant timeline of things that have been like sinking in. It's like the realization of what has happened. Oh my gosh, I'm getting the saddest image in my head. The never-ending story, which was a big thing when I was really little. In that story, and I saw this online somewhere not too long ago, it was talking about how kids' movies these days are not anything like what he had to watch. We were big sacrifices there. Me and my sister were laughing about this the other day because it's like, we watch movies like Bambi, like the very beginning, it's devastating. And then we have to watch the whole thing through. And I just had that one where he's in the quicksand with his horse, and that's the most traumatic thing, right? And he loses his horse, and after he's gone, the way he sits there, the feeling I'm getting with this 10 of Swords in reverse. It's this feeling of aftermath. And that Page of Swords in reverse can be like a misunderstanding or miscommunication, or the aftermath of that. It's like the dust is settling. 6 of Swords has to do with some sort of transition, a necessary transition. I do feel like it's a necessary transition. But it's also something that's hard to transition. Because it's like a feeling of knowing that there's going to be a lot that you're going to have to take on moving forward that is part of this sacrifice or this challenge. Like there's a long process, right? Why is that 10 of Cups in the reverse? Yeah, the Hanged Man in reverse, Pisces energy. This is the part of the unknown for me. But it's also a part of feeling stuck with that 10 of Cups in reverse. Family could be important here as well with that 10 of Cups in reverse. 10 of Cups always reminds me of family. It could be like a broken family or a separated family even. It's where your emotions are, it's where a big part of your emotions are. And this is like there's longevity here and a growth here emotionally. And when it's in reverse, it's like recognizing that big of that loss that's there, that significance of that loss. Something to do with separating yourself from something. It's something that's here. With that Hanged Man in reverse, it can be like stuck with, yeah, it is what it is. I think all these 10s here being in reverse can represent that energy of it is what it is. Being kind of stuck on that. This could be just a clear understanding. Having a clear understanding. You ever had two people? I just saw a feather flying in the air. I swear to God, guys. I just saw a feather flying in the air. It looked like a gray or white, like gray and whitish feather. Feathers to me, white ones are a sign of hope. Grays are about the unknown, but it's a middle ground, It's not black or white. There's this middle ground that's here. So when it comes to understandings, there's a middle understanding here, groundness, with it is what it is. That's where I feel like compromise is gained. Does that make sense? Why is Page of Pentacles here? I'm going to, guys, I say it, does that make sense a lot? Because sometimes I get so far off on it that, you know, for y'all it makes sense, but for me, I don't know the exact storyline. I'm just reading the energy. There's that King of Cups in reverse with that Page of Pentacles. I asked y'all, I want to know who this is earlier. This is Scorpio energy. This is that emotional imbalance that we talked about. And there could be a understanding, an offer, an apology, a conversation, compromise when it comes to the need for that, because there is this emotional instability. So it's like someone doesn't feel right about things emotionally. It's not sitting well. It's not sitting with them. And this is where a lesson is. This is where growth is. Oh, this is the Lovers. I'm fixated on this, and I'm just going to tell you why. Gemini energy. Look at these in this picture. Look at it. It looks like there's three people here, but there's only two heads. It's hard because I think these are his hands, but if these are his hands, no, that's got to be his hand, right? Do y'all see? Tell me that ain't difficult. Am I crazy? Like, that's the way I'm seeing it. Like, whose arm is whose? Once you think you have it figured out, look up to the two heads and then try it again. With this Gemini energy, though, but this is about, with that Six of Pentacles, it's equality. This, for y'all here with this is about equality. This is about an equal give and take, an exchange of effort. So the Six of Pentacles is normally a generosity that's being given, right? And compromise is a generosity that's being given. Sacrifices on each of your part when it comes to emotions or foundations. There's this sacrifice that's being made that is equal and it's understood, and that's where the compromise comes in. It's equally understood. It's like you're able to, on that ground, understand each other equally with it is what it is. So it's just something that's part of the experience. You know? This is someone here that sees you and looks at you with admiration and respect. Otherwise, the equal give and take wouldn't be there. So there's something that this person sees in you that you could see in this person too, you know? When it comes to understanding each other. Four Swords in the reverse. What is this about? There's a almost cussed. There's a lot. There's a ton of anxiety over here. I think it's a result because this requires so much strength. It's almost like looking at someone and saying, I know that you're fixing to have to like be really anxious here and go through like stress or anxiety. And I understand it. I feel the same way. It's like you're getting each other in that way. Both of you, this is going to require a lot of strength and a lot of perseverance. So this will be the next chapter, right, of the connection, of the relationship. So what do they need to know about these things? The star. There's a star. I mentioned the star. It's funny too because look. Oh my gosh. That is just incredible. Look at that. Look at that. Do I even have to say it? Y'all see it? See right here? You have the cloud that's in the background here with all the stars. You have the cloud, the blue cloud that's in the background here with all the stars. I mean, come on. That's pretty cool, huh? So there's this emphasis here on this healing. Sagittarius energy's here too. So how this will process out is there's part of this that has to do with this. It's like having hope or being optimistic, and there's a need for that, being optimistic when it comes to overcoming a significant emotional obstacle. I'm not narrowing this down because I feel like that could be definitely way all over different for everybody, right? There's the Two of Cups. Look at that. You have the Lovers and the Two of Cups here. Losing my voice. So sorry. Also, did you hear that in my throat? I also feel like that there's something here that you are, that requires strength, because there's this requirement of working together, or an agreement that you have with one another, right? The Two of Cups is, it's not just about, now my ear's ringing, it's not just about the relationship itself. It has to do with two people that have a commitment to one another. So there's some sort of like sticking to the commitment here of understanding each other that's here, that's important, and part of that compromise. Because ultimately here in this, you both have the same idea of what that star looks like. Like you both want the same thing for each other, whatever that looks like. The Moon, Pisces, Cancer energy. Yeah, because you both are stepping into an energy or a space where it's completely unknown with the Moon. And that's when the anxiety kicks in. But you're committing to this, or you are making a sacrifice when it comes to this in some way, shape, or form. There's just an understanding of what's sacrifice is being made, and the amount of pressure or anxiety that is a result of that. So the reason I keep saying anxiety and not fear is because this has to do with the future. So there's an idea of being afraid of what the future holds, but it's a mutual thing, and it's an understanding that you have with one another. Guys, my backyard, those leaves are falling out of, we have a bunch of trees around us in our backyards, and the leaves are falling out. It looks like rain. There's just nonstop. There's just falling, just like it's like snowflakes, but it's leaves. Yeah, and you know what that represents? Time. So I think that there's something here. It's just going to take some time, right? And there's an understanding or a mutual understanding around this time being relevant or important. And walking into the unknown of how that's going to work out, or what that's going to look like together. It's like walking outside. It's like walking outside, and you walk outside and you're by yourself. You're pretty scared, right? You don't know what's out there. If you hear a noise or you see a shadow, you don't know what it is. But if somebody's with you, it makes things a lot better or easier, right? So there's a significant idea about being on the same page with something where compromise is part of this. Why is the Four of Swords in the reverse with the Nine of Swords? And that's the Five of Cups. There's a lot of fear and worries and anxiety around regretting something, making a mistake, fear of that, or loss. Most importantly, I feel like there's a significant fear of loss or abandonment here. This is trust. This is trust. This is like rebuilding some kind of trust. It's the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. it takes time. That Five of Pentacles in reverse, I'm almost going to cry. That's like dead set. Great way these cards are coming out. In order to rebuild a 10, you have to be able to put the 5 back together. And the 5th house has to do with creativity and children too, so that could be important here. And the 5th house is also that Leo energy. It's getting strength, gathering your courage in order to face this potential mistake or loss or disappointment. But there's compromise and understanding that's here about stepping into the anxiety of this and the unknown of this. But all of this is learning to rebuild trust. And that takes a lot of inner strength. And it's getting out of the cold, but getting out of the cold together, if that makes sense. With the 5 of Pentacles being in reverse, this is support. This is supporting each other. That's how you gain trust, or gain trust back. How interesting. This is some kind of profound way of knowing how to regain trust back. That's where that light is coming from that we talked about earlier. So, what's the possibilities here in this? Ace of Swords in the reverse. That's unknown. That's unknown. Because this is up to the two of you. Ultimately. You know, so and that can go a million different ways for everybody that's listening to this. But that's the whole point. That's how the trust is supported here. Is having to, it is what it is. You're in a situation here where you have to face this challenge. But there's a commitment to one another of doing it together or mutual. And having compromise and understanding that sometimes here there's going to have to be things that you have to kind of bend with, but it won't break the relationship. This is regaining trust when there is just nothing but the unknown. That's how. The journey ahead is a path that's not been paved yet. That's why I can't tell y'all here exactly what's going to happen after this, moving forward. What do you need to look out for here? What's one thing that pile 1 needs to pay attention to or look out for here in this? The 7 of Wands. Being defensive, being too defensive about things. Yeah, compromise. If you're too defensive or you don't have you're not able to open up in a kind of way because you're too defensive about things, that's not going to be the right way to approach this. You kind of have to have an open mind here with this. 9 of Cups in reverse. I'm going to come back to that. Queen of Cups. You can't have a lot of opinions here either. This is kind of, gosh, I'm probably going to get some bad comments for this, but whatever. I'm just reading the energy. This is a feeling of, you kind of have to keep certain opinions and things. Don't be, super hard-headed. That's what this is saying. Don't be really, defensive, too, about choices and things. And it's just, how about, let's say it like this so it's not so triggering. You have to understand where your boundaries lie in this with this person, but also with yourself. Don't forget that part. If this is something that you feel like you want to invest into, then you need to also learn how to protect yourself, but also how to protect yourself from yourself. Because that's part of the process in relationships, and what we see is some things that we don't see in ourselves that person is showing us. And sometimes those things are hard and difficult, but you've healed in ways through that here. That's why you're capable of even seeing something being a different way. So just keep that in mind here, in learning when to take a step back is important. Okay. I pulled the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. There's something to do with third-party energy here, whatever that looks like for you guys. That could be anything. But the Three of Cups can be like other emotional relationships, family, friends, that kind of thing. This could have to do with work, the Eight of Pentacles. But this is also about, so this could be like not getting defensive about something to do with this, but this could also be about if you have your guard up so much, or you feel like you need to defend yourself for everything, then you're not open to actually building the relationship or working on the relationship, because there's a need to be vulnerable that's here. But take your time with that, you know. Why is that Knight of Cups in the reverse? I would say, before I even pull a clarifier, not to get too romantically tied up in this of how you envision something to be. Always stay grounded here, because things can change out of nowhere. So it's just always stay grounded here. Don't get caught up in some kind of fantasy, you know. The Seven of Cups. Looking at other options. Not for everybody, depends on your situation and who this is, but for some of you, this has to do with opening yourself up or looking for other options. There's a sense of being practical here. Being practical. Not closing yourself off to everything else. Now, that's not everyone's message. Those are for those of you that it depends on who this is to you. Okay? Obviously, if this is someone that you're romantically involved in, or some kind of, like you're in a relationship with this person, then that's not for you. But this is also, most importantly, just saying, hey, don't go off into like some kind of crazy fantasy of what this could be, you know. Stay grounded and stay out of being emotionally confused. So don't get too caught up in your emotions of the situation or what the other person should be doing for you, you know, emotionally or romantically even. Ooh, careful. You have the Devil here. This is also saying not to get too attached emotionally to the situation or or this person's situation in some way. This is where you need to have boundaries with yourself. That's why I was talking about opinions and certain things. There's something here within this for some of you that has to do with you not getting emotionally involved or emotionally attached to a situation. Or it's just, you know, don't let fear destroy the love that you have to give either. See, anxiety for me is like the devil, right? It ruins things for you. So, okay. You have the Three of Wands. It ruins your growth. This is what I was talking about. And they're like saying, focus on that. You've healed, right? You've healed through some things. You've seen some things. You've recognized some things within yourself. That's how you've gotten here. So it's just saying, don't allow your emotions to control the situation or controlling outside things to your emotions in order to get past the fear or anxiety of things. Does that make sense? The Devil for me is like control here. And you've grown. This is like where I no longer allow my emotions to control me. I no longer allow, especially if you're a water sign, that's something that you have to like integrate, you know, is not letting your emotions kind of control your decisions, your actions, things like that. This is where you've grown. So it's just saying implement that into this moving forward. You know, the Three of Wands can be like, take a second, separate yourself, create some distance. If you start to feel this way. That's interesting. Seven of Swords is in reverse at the bottom. This connection has shown you something about yourself that you didn't see before. This experience. And also for this person. This is about becoming more true to who you are. There's the Sun and the Empress in reverse. There could have been a lot of significant kind of lessons that you've learned from this. There's that 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. See the 3 10s in reverse? So it's like the aftermath. That Empress in reverse can be when you overly give of yourself. It's like you're chasing after love instead of allowing it to come to you. You're not in a very receptive energy. You're more of in a controlling kind of energy. That's where that emotional kind of control kind of comes in. This can possibly be even more present within you if you've experienced a lot of traumatic things in your life that you can almost sense or know when the energy's off without even knowing that's what you're feeling. It can start to put you in a mindset of fear and anxiety, which can push you to try to control the situation before it reaches that tower moment or that traumatic moment that you feel like is coming. So your fight or flight modes kind of kick in, and it can create issues and damage to the situation that wasn't there to begin with. And that is making a decision based off of a fear, but it's so like traumatically, it's like so deep down inside of there that takes a lot of time and effort and work to get out of that space and more in a peaceful, grounded place to where you can bend around things and you don't have to just anticipate and build your life around the worry and fear of what could happen. Oh my God. I didn't think I was going to come out of that, guys, but I hope that made sense. And then you have Libra, Taurus, and Leo energy here with the Sun. The Sun and the Seven of Swords is that's like the light has been shown to you about something to do with yourself, or something to do with this person, or this person seen something to do with themselves and something to do with you. There's this bigger understanding of who you are, who they are, who y'all are, everything that's here. That's the Sun with the Seven of Swords. Most importantly, you're beginning to understand yourself better. And I think that is super significant here. Because that's the point. That's like you've learned the lesson. See, when we're put in different situations, we learn things about ourselves that we didn't know. How we handle those things. Our reactions. Why are reactions like that? You know, you kind of go down that wormhole, and there's something like this connection is significant things, like big significant things that really are making you look at yourself, you know, which is good. Okay. What would this person say to you if they could say anything? Look, the chaser. Told you. Chaser. I don't want to chase anymore. And then you have responsibilities. See, that's that third party energy. I have to take care of my financial and emotional needs. Regret. I wish this never happened. Unappreciated. There's that reversal of the Empress, right? Unappreciated, because that's what happens is you don't have boundaries for yourself. So you overgive and overgive and overgive and overgive, and then expecting to have that in return. And when it doesn't happen in the way that you've given, then you become insecure, upset, emotional. All these kind of things start to happen. But this is why having boundaries with yourself is so important, right? And this could be this person's energy or your energy. I don't know which, but I feel like you didn't care. Dishonesty. By lying, I ripped us apart. And self-love. There's something here this person feels like they didn't take responsibility for. Self-love is I'm still trying to heal. So there's definitely like this sense overall of still healing from something. And again, that could be why this is also that Five of Cups showed up, is because you're having to pull yourself out of the Five. And that is something that is difficult. And it takes time. And I think there's also added pressure on top of that here. Overwhelmed. There's that stress. The stress from this is draining me. Okay. Let's see what advice we can leave y'all with. I saw 444 on the timer there. So not only is this reading gone way beyond where it should be, but that's also a number of protection. Fourth house is that Cancer energy. It's about home, family, security, structure, safety, stability. advice do you have for pile 1 about this? Yeah, guidance. Number 29, being on the right path. And being right in the middle of it. You know, right in the middle of everything. Help from the higher being. Okay. I was just sitting here thinking as I was shuffling that too. There's a significant spiritual aspect here to this relationship when it comes to like a unity when it comes to the light, understanding like the big things as far as humanity goes, that like is a certain understanding we should have with one another, you know, that is a common ground or a common understanding, compromise, stability, structure. And it's like of a higher source. So let's just say, you know, if something happened to our Mother Earth, then we would all kind of be responsible for that thing, right? Whatever that was, like if there's something going to destroy that, then we would all be kind of responsible. There's just like this stability or structure here that's really important. Okay. This is on page number 71, could be important. 7's about alignment. 1 would be about that new beginning. Guidance. Advice or help from authority aimed at resolving a problem or difficulty. Your new sense of direction and purpose is about to develop. The path is becoming clear. Your thoughts are becoming similar. Your thoughts are becoming simpler, but similar could be there because that compromise is there. Your mind is becoming far more focused and visualizing yourself as you walk your own path towards your wildest dreams. It's funny with these stars, huh? What do you see on it? How do you overcome the obstacles you meet? What is your attitude? Yeah, we talked about that with your emotions kind of controlling you there. What do you do on days when you lack motivation? Close your eyes and confirm your divine guidance. Your inner voice knows that you are being guided and protected every step of the way. Affirmation says, I say yes to my higher calling. That's awesome. Okay. I'm going to get one more spirit message card when it comes to the soul truth oracles. So what's the question you should be asking your truth, your soul? What's the question that pile 1 should be asking themselves moving forward? Oh, that came out. This is interesting. Does my life have room for more pleasure and play? In what area of your is lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? This could have to do with this dynamics in this relationship too, like reconnecting with the inner child. I really feel like that's how we build connection, like really close, intimate connections, is when we resonate with one another when it comes to our inner child. But what would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything. So sometimes it's nice to step into that space. Yeah, and that could have been like the detriment here of this relationship, which I don't know why that's a word I keep saying so much of, but is the inability, like the seriousness of things building, right? It lost that innocence. The innocence was lost here in some way. It's kind of sad, actually. The sail ship. I keep seeing this in my head throughout your whole reading. I don't know exactly why, other than that 6 of Swords, like getting to a calmer place. That's what this whole thing is, reading really is about. Sometimes that requires you to go your separate ways or to have some space or time between you, depending on who this is. You have the 2 happy feet here. So this is somebody like, this is like being happy for one another or being happy on your path. You have this is the pendulum that I had that broke. It's rose quartz. The tip of it broke off. And it reminds me of that 10 of Cups being in reverse and what I've been talking about. It's like, even though there was some kind of like this would be like a tower, right? So even though there was some kind of a break here when it comes to the emotions, the heart, that doesn't mean that the whole thing kind of goes to waste, you know? At least in this reading for this situation. Okay. Just so I'm clear in these readings, because I have comments sometimes that people say, I would never, and when this comes out, I would never go back to that person that did this, this, and this to me. Great, don't. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend maybe therapy or talking to a good friend or somebody you trust or something like that. I would never recommend going back to someone that hurt you in a huge significant way. This has to do with things that are manageable, that are rebuildable, that don't put you in any kind of physical harm, just so you know, or emotional harm. Okay, anyway. I just felt the need to say that. You have Dunkin' Donuts here, coffee. Coffee always reminds me of a conversation. You also have two feet here and two cells, so that would represent, takes two people to get to the calmer place, you know, here, which we emphasized on earlier with that commitment. But coffee could be important. You have mom right here. That could be having to do with that responsibilities. So you have a lot of elms. You have 3 elms. It just reminded me of my son saying, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I'm like, oh my God. You don't have to say Mom. Don't even say Mom. Just tell me what you need. He doesn't get it. He just keeps saying it. You have D here. D elm is right there. So you may be getting a message here. We started with all these pages. We have a dog here too. Loyalty. Go is here. We have H, Z, and an A. Ham. You also have life is tough, but so are you. Boy, I feel that way in this reading. Whatever this is definitely, it does require strength, which is what you're rebuilding. Monday could be relevant. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support. I hope this helps. Y'all go check out Anastasia, please. All her information will be down below if you're coming from her channel. Thank you so much. If you made it this far, I really appreciate y'all. If you wouldn't mind giving a thumbs up and going and giving her a thumbs up, I'd appreciate that too. Thank you. And I hope. Hey, Paul 2. So if you chose number 17, the Storyteller. So with y'all's card, and we're talking about what can you expect in this relationship. Well, I feel like that this is something that's yet to be seen, yet to be written. You have the key here, so there's opportunity here. The 17 would be the star in tarot, so you're talking about a wish or hope or a dream that you have when it comes to this opportunity. So for a lot of you, this is a story that has yet to been told. You know, you have the ink and the pen, so it's not been written yet. And that that song's played in my head. The rest is still unwritten was the first thing actually that played in my head when I pulled this card in the intro, but I didn't want to say anything at the time. But it has that feel to it, right, with that card. So in pile 1, I actually just went into the tarot, but for y'all, I feel like I need some oracles. So in my readings, if you're new here, if you're from Anastasia's channel, this is a collab, so some of y'all may be from her, so thanks for being here. But how I do things is I kind of tune into what I feel in each pile. I don't have a like set of cards that I'm going to use. So for y'all, I feel like I'm going to get some oracles first before we get into the tarot. Okay. This is the Twin Flame Audi oracles. Artie wants to come out. You have Rocking Horse here, indecision, lack of consistency, and on and off relationship. So this could be a relationship. I feel like this could be for some of you brand new, or this could be something that you're still like deciding about. Do you feel like there's a lot here that's still yet to be done, be had, be told, be said, experienced? Like there's still a lot to experience that is within this connection. For some of you, this may be an on and off relationship, or you could be indecisive about it, or it could be there's just a lack of consistency that's here. Negative emotions. anger, resentment, frustration, annoyance, feeling wronged. That's interesting. Tell me more about this. This is for me to get an understanding of the relationship itself before we try to see what you can expect from it. Yeah, cool peppermint. Refreshing new energy, interesting, stimulating, pleasantly different from the usual type. I don't know, what you're seeing from this person is just different from what you've experienced before. This could be somebody that's very, I want to say headstrong, but it can be somebody that's very determined. Like, you may be seeing more of a negative attitude in this person than you knew of. I don't know why that is, or let's keep going. Tell me about this relationship for pile 2. Yeah, the clock is slow. Slow progress will take a while, not the right time. Boy, this is an interesting scenario that I'm getting in my head. Let me go ahead and get the rest of this. I just said scenario in my head. And it says use your head. Give it some thought. Think logically and rationally. Don't let your emotions control you. Some of you, there's two storylines I'm seeing here, and unfolded is at the bottom, which is the same thing as being unwritten. Spiritual unfoldment. Spiritual awakening. Breaking free, blooming, and connecting with your higher self. This, I don't know the significance of why you're in this relationship, but I feel like this is something different for a group of y'all. Like, one group of y'all, this is a brand new relationship, or there's an opportunity for one on the table, but you're having a lot of fear and anxiety around this opportunity because it's someone very different from what you're used to. There's something very different about this connection, about this person, and you're wanting to take your time here and use your head and see how things kind of unfold. You're listening to your higher self. You're not allowing like this worry or fear get to you in some kind of way. You're just like, it's like when you start to get too close or too like with expectations or too much into your being optimistic about it in some way. You start to fall too much into that fantasy. You start to pull yourself back out of it. Like, now hold on. Because if you fall too far into it, you can start to create some narrative that leaves you're afraid of it leaving you abandoned or down and out. And so you don't want to experience that. You're trying to set some boundaries with yourself and control the sense of falling too far into that that's here. And taking this slow. Using your head. Don't let your emotions control you in this, right? With unfoldment, see how things go. For others of you, this is somebody that you're in a relationship with, and this could be a newer relationship, or it could be something to where maybe it's not as new, but there's still like a lot to be unwritten here. Like there's still a lot that's meant to happen between the two of you, and you know that, you feel that, and this is like a feeling of not giving up on something, or a feeling of knowing that there's still a lot more to understand or to come. But something's going on here with this person. They're having some kind of a negative reaction or annoyance, frustration that's taking place within the relationship that is different from what you've had to deal with or experience before. And I feel like that is causing this connection to kind of slow down, or it's almost like it's almost kind of like a feeling of a wake-up call. Yeah, and you do have this spiritual awakening here. So some of you, this is a relationship that you're waking up from like a fantasy of it, or what it was, to what it actually is. Yeah, there's some kind of a reality hit that's here in some way, that wants you to start really thinking about things logically. Now it's like brought you back to reality. I just heard Eminem in my head. What does he say? Back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. I don't know the rest of that song. I have had a lot of spam calls here while I'm sitting here and y'all's reading too, like an unusual amount. I don't know what that's about. Yes, I'm opening a drink. It's just a lemonade. It's Italian sparkling water. Or lemonade. But it has bubbles. And it kind of perks my mouth back up. So it helps. I've discovered it helps me a lot in the readings. Okay. That might mean something to somebody. I don't know. There is a big significance of being like, your feet are firmly on the ground. Like this understanding of what this connection is or what it's going to be, or it's just like a slap into reality in some kind of way is here. And I need to get the tarot to explain it better than that. Okay, so 2 different scenarios I'm seeing. Very different scenarios. So we are going to use the, this is called the, oh, I knew I was going to forget. Hold on, let me make sure I get this right. It's off Etsy, and it doesn't come with like a box, it just came in a bag. Sorry guys, bear with me. I had it pulled up, but it's not showing me now. Okay, it is the Arcane Moon. Wait, what? Arcane Moon Tarot? Yeah, Arcane Moon Tarot. Okay, I got that out of the way. You see how I just had struggled with that, right? You thought you had something figured out, but it's not what you thought it was. Like, what's under this? Nothing. Give it some thought. Something here, if this is a new person, has just set you off, like, making you see them differently or think about them differently. Okay, so what is going to happen in this relationship? What can they expect? That flew right over. You have the Emperor in reverse. You know what this feels like? It feels like something that you felt good about or felt solid about. You're going to be questioning that. That's what's going to happen here. You're going to be questioning your stability, questioning your security in some way here. This is something that I think you're going to go back and forth with. Like, back and forth with. Whoa. The Two of Swords in the reverse, there's like this, indecisiveness when it comes to the negative emotions. You're not sure how to really take this person or take the situation. There's just like going back and forth with the negativity here. This could be even like words, communication back and forth. And there's this like, okay, so there's this block that's here when it comes to not understanding one another, that's here, that's being acknowledged or recognized that maybe hasn't in the past. And it's causing this instability or causing this indecision. For some of you, if this is someone just brand new that you have an opportunity with, this could be like just not knowing if you should move in this direction or not, or if you're ready for that. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, cool peppermint. Fresh new energy, interesting and stimulating, pleasantly different from your usual type. With that Knight of Wands, that's like rushing into something. So either this was something that, with cool peppermint, that you feel like you rushed into it because it was something that was very interesting, very different, very stimulating, pulled you in. But then once you're into it and you see the shadow side of it, then you're starting to think differently about it. And that's this reality that's coming into play. If this is someone brand new, then you are looking at this person as someone that is very interesting, that is pulling you towards them. Their energy is stimulating, you know. They're different. There's something that is attracting you to this person because they're someone that is different. Different from what you've experienced before, right? Or it's just different. It's not, I want to say different. It's like their uniqueness as a person is what pulls you towards them. Or there's something about this person that is nothing that you resonate with that's different for you that pulls you towards them. Okay. Or it has in the past, depending if this is someone brand spanking new or someone you're already with. That Three of Wands with that, the clock is slow, is putting distance here and kind of allowing time to do what it's going to do, to see what's going to happen. I do feel like you are trying to block out any kind of negative emotions that you feel. I'm trying to stay focused on this being a new experience or someone very different. But there is still some issues that are there and frustration that's there with that, whether that's with yourself or with the person. And a need to kind of distance yourself when you need, or just kind of wait and see how things play out. There's something particular that some of y'all could be waiting on. I don't know what that means. The Fool in reverse. Use your head. So you've been woken up here, one way or another. Whatever the situation is for you. You've been woken up here. There's something to do with maybe you took a risk. Maybe you... it's like standing on the ledge and saying, okay, I have faith that, there's going to be a short... When I jump off of this, I'm going to be able to keep going. I'm going to be able to jump off and it's not going to be too far. I have faith, I believe in this. And then you take that chance and it doesn't play out for you and you end up hurting yourself real bad. And it's like, well, I had faith that there was something going to be there. That's all I could kind of go off of. And I think something to do with this is like you're realizing like you just kind of have to have faith in the situation. But there's not a lot of optimism here. There's just a need to be logical. There's something that's taken the innocence out of this, which is it's kind of it's weird. It's a little bit of an energy I felt in the other pile, but it's not. It's a completely different way of looking at it. And it's very hard to explain. It's actually making my head hurt thinking about it. Aries energy's here. Aries energy's here too. And there's a feeling here of not being able to return back to that feeling, right? Something's already been kind of shown to you, with whether that's within yourself or with this other person. That's hard for once you're smacked out into the reality of things, you can't really turn around and go back, And if you do, you're not going to be jumping off that cliff as easy as you did. There's this feeling of using your head. Why is the Emperor here? Or this could also be a situation that you're needing to give it some time. You're needing to use your head here in this situation. Why is the Emperor here in reverse? I don't know if this is a repetitive cycle for some of you with this on-off relationship. You could be in a place to where every time you experience something with this person and you start again, you're able to grow every time. It's just a slow progress. And it could be because you're dealing with someone that does carry a lot of negative feelings within them. Anyway. Knight of Cups is here in the reverse for that Emperor in reverse. That's that indecisiveness that's here when it comes to how you really feel about this situation of this person. Not being sure if you should move forward, not knowing how you really feel about it. Not feeling in control of it either. The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. This is going to sound weird, but it's a message here, okay, for somebody. Something to do with what you were hoping that you were investing into, or what you were hoping would be a long-term outcome. It's like you don't see something the same way that you did. And what you don't see is something, your investment here paying off in some kind of way. This could be a negative emotion that's taking you over, or it could be something you saw in someone else that is taking over your ability to be able to see a future that's worth investing into. It makes it harder. The Knight of Wands. You have a Nine of Pentacles here. Yeah. The Nine of Pentacles is a hard energy. They don't talk about, you don't hear a lot of, when you see the Nine of Pentacles, you're like, oh, you're abundant and you're doing good and you're satisfied with where you are. You have everything and more that you need, and you're independent and this kind of energy. But it's hard to get to a Nine of Pentacles. It takes a lot of grit. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. It's exhausting. to get to that Nine of Pentacles. So when you get there, it's like you're just happy to be where you are. And with that Knight of Wands being with that Nine of Pentacles, this is like trying to get to something very quickly, but you can't. It takes work. And I think that there's an understanding of this that's on a higher level here that's taken place. Because I think what initially attracted you to this person is the cool peppermint, is the differentness, uniqueness, or whatever it was with them that pulled you in. But it's now understanding how that can make things so much more difficult when it comes to you and this person, like understanding each other. It's like really liking someone's way of thinking, but there's big significant like morals or values that don't collide, like you're not on the same page with. And it's like, well, that's just you be you and I'll be me kind of feeling. But then yet when it gets to building a life together or building things together or what's important to you in that togetherness, that could be very different. And it could lead to issues and problems and circumstances that are hard. And it's like having this understanding how that was something that you saw as having a pro in the relationship, but now it's turning itself into a negative in the relationship. I don't know what that means for y'all, but if this is someone new, this is what you're trying to maybe figure out. And this can also represent you working so hard on yourself and where you are that you're not wanting to rush into something very quickly. You have the Five of Cups in the reverse and the King of Wands. Some of you still may be getting over someone else or getting over something here for some of you, not everybody. For others of you, this is just representing, moving on from what was. That, desire or wish that you had here within what you see. Either this is you kind of not placing expectations on the situation, if this is someone brand new, or this is you moving on from what you originally saw as a future in this situation with this person. It's because it's transmuting. It's not transmuting. Well, I mean, yes.
Do you know what the bean dip is?
It may be in the refrigerator in that pull-out drawer, but I'm not sure that there's any left. But you can look in there if there is some. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's like being able to move on from something that... Shoot, my kid came in. I lost it. It will come back to me in a second. What was I talking about? Transmuting, and then I was like, no, that's not the right word. What is it? It's integrating it, which I guess is similar, but it's integrating this idea of needing to be strong, needing to take the lead, needing to pay attention, and move on past this idea of what this could have been or what it was going to be, and needing to grow from this, needing to change, needing to move on from this. That's something that's here. But if this is someone brand spanking new, this is just you in this process of needing to move on, and have courage and strength that, I need to move on, and this is an opportunity for me to do that. This can be like you've given yourself enough time to heal and enough time to have some realizations, and now it's time for you to lead yourself to keep continuing that, to move on, whether that includes a brand new person or that includes moving on from something that happened within a relationship. But this is definitely something that's going to take some time. This is like having to completely start over with learning someone. Learning someone's ways, learning how someone is, and there was some kind of disappointment here if this is a newer relationship, because there's something here that you're figuring out about this person that is frustrating, For some of you, this isn't everybody's truth, okay? But There's something here to do with not having a choice when it comes to the future of things here. And I don't know what that means. You have a Page of Pentacles here with the Fool in reverse. This is learning a lesson when it comes to taking risks, taking opportunities, taking leaps. And either you've learned that and now you're in this process of needing to use your head, or this is like an understanding that you're having within a new relationship, that this is going to be a new journey and a big lesson about taking unnecessary risk. There's something to do with that here too. Yeah, Ace of Swords. This is the reality that's, hitting. I hope y'all are able to stay with me because there are completely two different scenarios I'm seeing. One of y'all, and I know I've repeated this like 3 times, but for one of y'all, this is somebody you're already in a relationship with, but they're newer. And there's some things, you're starting to see like the shadow aspects of this person play out. And there's also something here to do with already being committed to something, or having like a contract, or being like having no choice in some kind of way, or something like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so what can they expect moving forward from this? What can they expect moving forward from this feeling? You have a 5 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so that's getting past the conflict here. The Moon in reverse. Some kind of breaking of silence, truth being exposed, emotions being revealed. Queen of Swords in reverse. King of Swords, Knight of Swords in reverse. You have a lot of knights out. It's like actions happening. You have a Knight and a Queen here with the Moon and the 5 of Swords. All this is stress. All of this is like stress. Okay, so I have to say, if this is someone brand new, there's some kind of conflict that you're going to be avoiding when it comes to this person. It's almost like dodging a bullet kind of feeling that I'm feeling. Like you could be, there's something about this where you could be kind of dodging a bullet here for some of you, right? For others of you, it's like agreeing to disagree is a feeling that's here. What is this 5 of Swords here in reverse? What's going to happen? 10 of Cups. Temporary fulfillment. Temporary happiness. That's what's happening here. So this is like temporarily it's just kind of dealing with the situation, or trying to just put on a happy face and avoid the emotions or the conflict that's here. Like making amends, saying it's okay when it's not. That kind of feeling. It's something that's here, that's taken place. But then the emotions come out because it's not resolved fully. The 7 of Wands in reverse. Oh, this is somebody letting their guard down and opening up emotionally, exposing some emotions or some truth. Queen of Wands in reverse. This could be about someone else for some of you. Or this could just be about opening up about the lack of confidence that someone feels, whether that's this person or you. It's like opening up and expressing a lack of confidence or attraction, or yeah, it's like someone's insecurities are growing. And it could be because some of you have placed some distance here, but someone's insecurities are growing. And this is what's going to be expressed or shown. And it's because there was no real conclusion here. There was just avoidance. Why is the Queen of Swords here in the reverse? 9 of Cups. There's this feeling of someone cutting the other person out or off and being focused on themselves. Or being unhappy. And I don't like this energy. I'm not liking this energy, guys. I don't like reading this. Hold on. Why is that Knight of Swords in the reverse? And I'll tell you why. Yeah, the Ace of Wands. I don't feel like this moves in a very good direction. There doesn't feel like there's anything resolved or... Okay, Eight of Wands in reverse. That's frustration, out of frustration. Be careful. This feels like a reaction out of frustration. And it could be like somebody going towards someone else or something else out of having a reaction because they're frustrated with how things are going here. I see that in the cards. This could just be being someone being unhappy of the other person's behavior, and it needing to stop. This needs to be addressed, whatever this is. If this is someone brand spanking new, I feel like there's some kind of conflict you start to realize or see with this person that comes across as something that you don't want to be a part of. And I think that you're kind of separating yourself from the situation because you feel like what you're doing here is protecting your own peace or your own happiness. So unfortunately, if this is someone brand new, I don't feel like that this gets to a spot. I feel like you turn away from it. And I feel like this person may even kind of start something new just to spite that. So there's just some pettiness that's going on here I don't like. And then if this is someone that you're already with, there's something that occurs or happens between the two of you that kind of gets brushed under the rug. And there's distance that's created, which this increases this negative emotion. Eventually, it's like pretending everything's okay, and then it just like all comes out. And there's this defensiveness because there's these insecurities that are being created here. And a feeling of two people kind of spiting each other and going separate ways. So if that's the story, what's that about? Yeah, the Eight of Cups in reverse. That's negative emotions, like in a negative attachment. In the Six of Swords. See, there that feeling of not being able to kind of transition in the way that you want or do what you want in the situation because there's some kind of an attachment that's here. Emotional attachment, agreement. Eight of Cups in reverse is an inability to be able to go and do what you really want to do, go towards your real happiness because you have this, or what you feel like would make you happier because of that attachment that's there. Whatever that is for you guys. King of Cups is here. That's Scorpio energy. Has to do with stability and strength with your emotions. Like you have to be like emotionally strong here for whatever reason. Ten of Pentacles is at the bottom. Three of Cups in the reverse. Two of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Empress. There's the Emperor there. So this is an Empress and Emperor that are not on the same... You're not in the same... Like, you're not... I said this before. There could be a battle of control here, too, that's going on somehow or another. Someone kind of taking over emotionally a situation, or taking over a situation due to their emotions in some way, and someone else feeling like they can't do anything about it, or they don't have any control over it in some way, or at least momentarily, or I don't know, something about that's there. This could, for some of you, be like starting over with someone, but for others of you, this is someone new that you just don't feel like that you're in the same place or on the same page. Two of Pentacles in reverse is going back on a decision. The Three of Cups is separating yourself from someone, and the Ten of Pentacles is finding stability. So the overall part of this is basically going back on a decision. See, there's that indecisiveness here, right? This is like dropping this as a priority in some kind of way and separating yourself in order to find peace, make peace. Find peace or make peace. That's what's here eventually. When it comes to this connection, whether this is someone brand spanking new or this is someone that's newer, some kind of renewal going on. And some of you, this may be a repetitive pattern. And this reading was confusing for me, and if it was for y'all, I'm sorry. To be honest with you, there are like 3 storylines that are coming through when it comes to this reading. And I've been trying to kind of present them in a way where all y'all can understand what's going on here, but it is difficult. I'm just being honest, though. The bottom line here in this reading, as far as what can you expect in the relationship, I don't feel like this goes in the way that you unfolds in the way that you would desire or want for it to. But at the end of it, I can say that there is this feeling of stability that you do gain when it comes to what the ultimate result of this is. So, if that helps. What would this person say to pile 2? Yeah, commitment. There's some kind of commitment that's here. This could be marriage for some of you, I guess. It could be a relationship, marriage, something tying the two of you together. Could even be just contract or something like that. Kids could be involved. Sharing a home could be involved. Sharing property. There's some kind of commitment that you have. Maybe it's just a commitment you made to yourself if this is someone that you don't even know yet. It says, I want you to be a part of my future. Sabotage. I mess up the good things in my life sometimes. Understanding. I see your side of the story. Indecisive. I know my inability to make a decision hurts you. Mistakes. I wish I could right my wrongs. Conversation. I want to call and hear your voice. Secrets. I haven't told you everything. An unexpected outcome. Things didn't go the way I planned. Yeah. I feel like this is a cycle. I feel a cycle here. If this isn't a cycle with somebody you're already involved with or somebody brand new, that's just new anyway, this is a cycle with somebody that you were hoping for a clean slate with. This feels like a cycle between two people, though, that plays out. And you could be living this could feel like something you've already experienced, but it is someone brand new, and it's just like in a different form or in a different person. But you're handling things differently here. But this feels like a cycle where there's this conflict and then this ultimate, like, coming back together or having this commitment to one another when it comes to mistakes and talking this out. But there's like this understanding, but there's still like things under the surface that have yet to be like really looked at, compromised with, understanding to really take place in a deeper level. It's just all surface level. Like it seems like everything's fine, but underneath there's like storms going on. And then it creates this instability, you know? And then things don't go like the way you wanted them to. And it's like a repetitive cycle. So for some of you, this feels like a karmic cycle that you could be stuck in. If not, some of y'all are just recognizing this right off the bat with the brand new connection and realizing that this is not going to go the way that you want it to, and you're making a decision to get out of it. Some of y'all are just starting a connection with someone that you have some kind of tie with or commitment to, where you feel almost stuck in that, or someone does, where there's this karmic cycle that's taken place. Neglected, I failed to give you what you need, and hope in reverse. Yeah, either you're seeing that someone's not going to be able to provide what you need or what you thought. Okay, so let's get some advice. Interesting reading. This one feels complicated. Don't take this message if it feels complicated. Parts of it may be because I'm confused, because there's so many different scenarios of how this is coming across. But if you can't fit it with your story, and if it becomes very confusing in your mind, it's not your message. If it is your message, you should have a sense of flow here. Maybe one or two things may throw you off, but you shouldn't be confused at the end of this, okay? So keep that in mind. We don't need to hear about it in the comments either, by the way, if it doesn't resonate. If it doesn't resonate, don't take the message and just carry on. I can't stand there when people get in the comments and they're like, this didn't resonate for me at all. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe there wasn't a message here for you today. It just makes no sense why people do that. I don't understand. I really think that some don't take the time to really understand what a general pick a card is, and what it consists of. And I feel like those of you that do, obviously, you know, take what resonates and you leave the rest. There's messages here for everybody. I don't know why I had to say that, but I did. New opportunities, number 3. There's that growth and expansion that's there. Better things are opening up for you. Leave the comfort zone behind and open your world to new possibilities with an open mind. We have spirit contract. Number 56, answer the call of your ancestors to connect with their wisdom, to receive their support, and let yourself receive. Number 43. When you step into the space of receiving, it allows you to open to unexpected sources and to add joy into your life. Yeah, something here for some of you, like that you're not just getting something negative at you in some kind of way, like you're getting either a realization or understanding or something significant here that's going to give back to you in some way. And they're saying don't miss that, you know, don't misinterpret that or miss that in some kind of way. How can I describe that? If this is someone that's brand new and you're realizing pretty early on that you've taken your time to see this person for who they are and it's not for you, and you're making that decision and you're stepping up and moving away from it because it's not right for you, then that in itself represents a significant amount of knowing yourself and your worth and your growth and what you want for yourself and what you don't, and taking action towards that. And I feel like that in itself is part of embracing, allowing yourself to receive, you know. From that will become rewards because you'll start to attract the things that are what you're feeling like you want or you deserve or you need. Okay. I landed on disguised solution, number 7. The solution is disguised as a problem. What you perceive as a problem is pushing you towards a more favorable outcome. For some of you, this feels like being in a situation where it's forcing you to grow in some way. And I don't know what that means to you guys, but that's something that is here. And it may not result exactly the way that you anticipate it for it to, and you may be already tuning into that. But there you go, confirmation. But I feel like it will push you towards understanding yourself in a way that is severely purposeful, and it pushes you towards growth that you're needing. Also, you have 4, 3. My sister won't stop texting me. It's throwing me off. You have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 here. So it's a process, right? It's a learning process. So be proud of yourself here. Or take it easy. Give yourself some grace. It's a learning process. Okay. So let's get an overall card for advice. Then we'll get some initials to close. Woo! This reading was... I just saw 4, 4, 4 on the timer, and I think I said that in the last reading. That's crazy. Which is a number of protection. It's about your stability too, which I see this stability like in these readings, which makes sense because that's what a lot of us are doing is we have a new reality that we're walking into, and we're trying to like face that reality or the stability in some way. Number 1, all in perfect timing. This is it. It's time to take action now. We will be I will be here every step of the way, number 1. So there's that new beginning, and then the bottom of it says, number 6, be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. So make sure that you are speaking your truth. Always very, very important to speak your truth. Yeah. Not leading anyone on, or not leading on a situation, or not being honest with someone in a situation, especially when it comes to how you really feel. I feel like that's really important here. And that may be what you've been learning, to speak up for yourself. Okay, so you have the turtle. So taking things slow, going in the right direction is something that's here. You have the message with it's like a kind of a compassionate, empathetic like message that you may receive or give. You have the rocket ship. This feels, the turtle's slow, the rocket ship's fast with the message. This could have to do with needing to slow something down, or take something slow. Okay, so you have THBKAREU and Y. Bye is there. I want to say Karen. It's almost there. There is here. Okay. All right, guys. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness. Of course, I hope this helps. Good luck, and I hope to see you soon. Hey, pile 3. So pile 3, y'all chose number 2, Roots of Abundance. Guys, I have literally started your reading 3 times. 3 times. I even have gotten somewhere in the reading and had to start over. So what is that about? Like, we're supposed to be talking about what you can expect. So maybe there's some kind of interference that's going to take place here, or has, when it comes to this relationship or this connection. 2 is about balance and choices. So most importantly, choices. So choices that have been made. What roots are being planted here? Roots of abundance means that, the possibilities of something being a good, abundant, something growing or becoming abundant because of this relationship is something that's here. So with roots, it's like the roots you plant, you go in the ground, and then you have to nurture that. And if you can prioritize and balance that out correctly, it can nurture and grow and produce a lot of, whatever you're growing here. A lot of stability, a lot of abundance. But if it's not, then you don't get as much from it, and there's something to do with this relationship and what I just said about this, the roots in the tree. Having a lot of hope and faith that the roots that are being planted are liable. That I have restarted your reading 3 times, and I am only just now, I've seen the key at the bottom, but I'm only just now seeing that there's the keyhole in the middle of the tree. Maybe that's what I needed to see and why I kept restarting. This looks like an owl to me, though, which is about being wise, utilizing the lessons that you've learned. You have a key and an opportunity. So there's an opportunity to balance the situation out, or an opportunity to grow some good, healthy roots here. Okay, so sorry. Already had to pause. I'm sorry about that. Just so y'all are aware, I have a little one that's home. He's doing better, but he has been sick, so he has to wait one more day before he goes back. And so he's here, so he may hear him in and out or hear noises in the background. That's what it is. Okay. So this is the Twin Flame Audio Oracles. We're going to use these just to get started. So let's see where you are currently in your relationship with this person. Where are you currently in the relationship with this person? Pile 3. Karmic ties. The T. So karmic ties is karmic relationship, karmic situation, debt, not for you. And then you have gossip, talking about you and having a reputation. Where are you at when it comes to this relationship? The devil's domain, obsession, addiction, poor habits, and codependency. You have fair is fair at the bottom. Justice, balance, and mutual benefit, and unhealthy choices. Bad eating habits, focusing on your health, and careful who and what you let in. There's fear around this relationship. At this current moment in time, you're trying to be fair or balanced, giving this some time. But there is fear around what you're getting into here in this relationship, or what you're committing to. Worried about this person and maybe either your reputation, their reputation. It's like you're just kind of worried about what you've heard. Because with unhealthy choices, not for you, this codependency, there's this like, you may be looking at someone and maybe you need or want to commit to this person with this karmic tie in particular. There could be some kind of tie here. You already have roots with this person. She's pregnant in this card, which I'm only just now noticing that. And you have the plague mask here. It's like death, you know? So, so this feels like, don't mean this in a negative way. It just feels like a mask, like having to disguise. Not for you. Karmic situation. There's some kind of situation or debt that's here. There's a karmic situation that's here. And you may be worried about that. Or you could be worried about this person's ties. You know, maybe you're connecting with someone that has a toxic ex that they have a child with and they have to kind of deal with. Or this could be what you're worried about, you know. Something like that is going on here. I'm going to have to get the tarot to figure this out. But then you have gossip here. So gossip to me is like not knowing the truth, right? Obviously. So hearing something but not knowing if it's the truth or not. So it's like being afraid, not knowing what the truth is when it comes to this. And then Devil's Domain. And remember, this can go in a multitude of ways as far as how you're seeing this relationship and who this is to you. This could also be somebody seeing it in your point of view or your perspective, right? The Devil's Domain here, though, there's definitely, I think, a fear of codependency that's here. Let's see if we can pull something different. I did not land on anything, so we'll stop that. And then we'll get into the tarot. Snake and Secret Crush. Change. Can you tell me, what is this relationship for pile 3? Healing. What is this relationship for pile 3? Friends. Bottom of the deck is fated meeting. Meant to be destiny. Determined an encounter. This to me with healing and friends is where you're trying to regain trust in a situation or be supportive of someone. This may be somebody you're trying to be supportive of, but you feel like, yeah, this could be just a friend for some of you, but this fated meeting, to me, with this destiny energy here, it feels like something that you feel like was fated to happen, or you felt like was going to happen or bound to happen, or there's something like that there. An enormous, it's a new word, by the way, an enormous amount of leaves just fell from the tree all of a sudden. It's like a shift or a change in the wind. So it's like almost knowing something was fated here to happen. And then this wanting to heal a friendship. Maybe this karmic is a part of a debt or a situation. And someone having a reputation of being codependent, you know? Okay. Whew, pull myself back from that a little bit. I'm getting a little hot. I'm going to turn my heater off there. Okay, so this is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. So let's see, guys, what you can expect from this. So if this makes sense to y'all, this is where we're at. This is what we're looking at. Hang in there. We're going to get some more. What's here? Intuition and heartbreak. Yeah, I swear to y'all, this feels like something that you could already see where this was going before this transpired. I don't know, there's something to do with this. This is where you're at. Let me do one more thing before I just go into this. How are you seeing this other person? That was the right question to ask, I guess. Oh, it's the Hanged Man in reverse. You see them as being stuck? Pisces energy. You could see this person as being stuck on something. Like maybe you feel like this person is, you know, they have a pattern of being codependent or being in codependent type of relationships with having a reputation. If you look at these like straightforward, karmic relationship, gossip, and obsession around this. And then you have karmic debt or situation talking about you and this addiction or poor habits around that. And then you have not for you, having a reputation, and codependency. So it's like somebody that you feel like there's something up with this person where you feel like that they are just not, you know, they have a reputation of finding themselves in particular situations where they get kind of stuck into something. So how are you seeing this person? Pile 3, how are they seeing this person? That's the 7 of, that's the 9 of Cups in reverse. Upright. Good grief. Maybe you feel like this person is, because this is about, well, this can be about being selfish. What was this? Yeah. 7 of Pentacles. You know what this feels like? It's like you're looking at somebody and you're saying you feel like that they're just happy with how things are, or they're happy with being stuck, or how do I describe that? It's kind of a strange feeling the way that you see them as far as where they are. This is so temporary too for me, and it doesn't. It's like long-term happiness, right? But oh, I get it. You feel like this person never pays attention or looks at the long-term effect when it comes to being happy where you are. It's like momentary fulfillment, but they never can look or pay attention to the longevity. So this could be somebody that ends up in a lot of karmic relationships because they're focused on what they can get from this relationship or connection in the moment, or what they need with codependency there, and they don't think about the long-term happiness. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I could have just looked at that. And that's the 8 of Cups in the reverse, which is about inability to walk away. So there's something that's here with this person where they may not be able to walk away from this. You know, there's the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is like when a negative karma or consequence is playing out with the 8 of Cups in reverse, where it causes an inability to be able to walk away. That's interesting. What's going to happen here in this relationship for pile? What in the world was that? It's the Emperor. Some way to show up. So this person has a weird energy. It's like, I don't know, this person feels like they're trying to live a life. Or this is somebody that like lets life live through them instead of them living their life. Does that make sense? Right now, this person may also have a lot of highs and lows, but right now they may be feeling confident or feeling good. But this is the 7 of Swords. So, yeah, it's this person. I'm going to put this back. What can you expect? This person is faking it. Like, I don't know how else to describe that. This person's kind of faking being in control when they really aren't in control. This is somebody that can be like, oh, well, I planned all that. That's what I wanted. I planned it like that. That's what this is. I'm getting exactly what I wanted. They ain't getting what they want at all. It's like I said, like they're letting life just grab them and just carry them through whatever situation are there. They're just like letting other people or life itself just kind of like a ping pong ball, just letting it just go wherever instead of taking control of it, you know. You know how like a ping pong ball, it just kind of goes up wherever. It's just like ding there, ding here, ding here. And then you get control of it when you get it down and you flip it up and it just goes straight forward in one direction. Your person is the first one, okay? That's what it feels like. Why is the karmic tie here? Some of y'all may be asking about a different relationship. Not your personal relationship. Anyway. Yeah, look at that. 10 of Pentacles with karmic ties. Oh, this is something that has this is like a debt that lasts a long time. This is like a foundation, a state, something that is there's that abundance right there. It's longevity. It's something that you're in for the long haul. Ten of Pentacles. Gossip. Four Cups in reverse. Oh, no. Yeah, Four Cups in reverse. That's freedom. Having a reputation. We'll have to come back to that because there's something else that's going on there. Devil's Domain. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this is like having to have certain priorities. So it's about, well, it is about decisions, and you do have the number 2, so that's there. But it's also about like prioritizing things, like work and home, you know, or having priorities. And with codependency in the Devil's Domain, that is like being tied down or having to, you know. So there's this codependency and having priorities. So this person, there's something here that they're having to prioritize. But they may have a reputation of getting bored in situations. I don't know why I just threw that out there like that, but healing. That's the Six of Cups. Friends. That's the Fool. This may be somebody here that is, you may have been, like, you won't be surprised if this, that you have some kind of encounter with this person. I think maybe you've even been expecting it. For some of you. But this could be somebody here that's wanting to heal a situation, wanting to regain trust, or like become friends, start over. You have the Fool here. Can we start over as friends? That kind of energy is here. What is this Ten of Pentacles? Judgment. This person that you're talking about here, when it comes to you, there's some kind of debt that they feel like obligated to, and it could have to do with something long term, like maybe they've known you forever, or there's this, you have a you know, your family, or you are in a tight community, or, you know, like for instance, this could be your neighbor, and you're like, well, I have to live by this person for years now, so you know, it's that kind of a feeling is to this with Judgment and Ten of Pentacles. It's funny to me that he is in his coffin. I mean, technically, I guess he's standing upright, but I mean, the coffin's still there. This is like resurrection, you know. This is like somebody, I feel like, that's going through like what matters and what's important and what their morals are. And this is some kind of karmic lesson that they're experiencing right now outside of you in this relationship. Why is the Four of... It's like what's important. Yeah, you may have some kind of karmic tie with this person. If that's the case, and this is like somebody that's wanting to focus on what's important here with that. Tell me about the Four of Cups in the reverse. That's the Ten of Wands in the reverse. This feels like somebody that no longer wants to have to think about like how you feel, what you're thinking, what they're hearing, the gossip. You know, this is somebody that wants to let this go, like put the burden down. I mean, I feel like this is somebody that's coming to you with these 10 wands on their back, and they laying them at your feet, and they're like, okay, I'm ready to lay this burden down. I don't want to carry this anymore, you know. Whatever this gossip or situation is. You could, like, you and this person may be on the outside. Something happened between the two of you. You're not talking right now. My ear's ringing. You're not getting along for some reason. That's the King of Pentacles, and he's sideways. And I think that's important because I stopped it. He landed sideways. Capricorn energy with that Two of Pentacles. This would be like the King of Pentacles needing to prioritize, you know, having to step up, make a choice. Why that, though? Maybe they feel like they're walking into the devil's domain. Why the devil's domain, though? Why? Huh. That's the 9 of... It's about what makes this person happy. So how are you seeing this, though, is... You see this person as doing whatever it is they need to do to make them feel good about how things are. Like, you're only a priority for this person when they feel like that they need you. Why is the 6 of Cups here with healing? Why does this person want to heal here? What is the point of this healing that's here? It's the 10 of Swords. There's some kind of ending here for some of you with this person with these 10s and this Judgment and the Fool. Because this is like a new beginning. Give me one more for that. What does that mean? The Hierophant. So, I don't like this energy that much, though. I really don't. Like, okay, so this would be somebody that feels like they're trying to do like the right thing. They're trying to do what they feel like is morally correct. And this could have to do with however things ended between the two of you. This is like this reconciliation or healing around this. I feel like this person has other obligations, though. For some of you, this could be family, this could be work, this could be career, this could be like their own stability. There's some kind of debt or karmic lesson, definitely lesson that they're going through here about this and what stability means to them. Yeah, that's the 7 of Swords. So there is some kind of deception around this, though. And when this person comes to you, this could be like somebody that says, hey, you know, I'm really, like, I am good. I am stable. I'm good. I'm happy where I am. That's, we already said this before, but that's not the case. What you see is not what's happening here with this person. I think you're aware of that, but despite that, okay, there's this understanding of this person wanting to prioritize what they feel like is important. But the thing that's behind this is there's something to do with making this choice and needing to step up, needing to do the right thing. But they're only doing this when it is benefiting them in some way at this point. Why? And I think this is how you see this person, actually. Yeah. That's the Ace of Swords. That is the truth. That is the truth. This has to do with this person wanting to be happy in the situation. You know how, like, you have a situation where you don't want to have to do it, but you do it because you don't want to hurt the other person. You do it because you know that's what's right. You need to help the other person see something correctly. You need to be there for the other person. You need to be loyal or trustworthy because of the other person. But you don't. But then at some point, you're like, I need to stand up for this person because they benefit off of it in some way. This is somebody that's only coming to you, they think, in a righteous way, to where they are being, you know, this King of Pentacles, which is standing up and being strong, doing the right thing and doing this and that. But the reason that they're coming to you in this direction and the whole purpose of it has more to do with them and how they want the situation to play out and what would make them happy in it. This person, this is like somebody that basically gossips or leaves you in the dark and is disloyal to you in some way or just doesn't take up for you or whatever. But now that they feel like it will benefit them in some sort of way, or they just need you in some way, that's that codependency, then they want to come in and do the right thing. But they only want to do the right thing when they need you. That's kind of fishy, right? That's kind of fishy. And I think maybe you caught on to this or you see this in this person. If that's the case, guys, this person will fight to the death with this. The Magician, the Lovers, the Ace of Wands, the Moon, and the Four of Wands. This is somebody that would they can't like admit they're wrong. If they do, it's only just for like surface value. This is somebody that doesn't wholeheartedly feel like that they did anything wrong. They're just trying to be the bigger person. It's a icky feeling. Why is the Fool here with friends? Yeah, there's another 10. 10 of Cups. With the Fool and friends. Guys, this is love bomby energy. And the World is at the bottom. This is a closing out of a cycle. This is closing a cycle out. And you may be game for this. You may be like, you know what, just whatever. Just whatever. Believe what you want to believe. I believe what I want to believe. And yeah. Look. Threats and mirror. You know what I'm seeing on here? Somebody feeling like this codependency, this appearance of things, the appearance of things is being threatened in some way. Their appearance, their reputation, that's on there, having a reputation. Their reputation and their appearance is being threatened in some way. And this could disturb things going on in their life, could affect their finances, could affect their friendships, their relationships, somehow or another. What a strange reading. So, what can you expect moving forward from this person? Honest truth. Yeah, we have the Crown. Look at that. Owner, Master, and Top Level. Mirror came out again. When it comes to appearances, you can expect this person coming in a way of owning it, right? Just what's the reason? Why now? You know? Give me a card for that. Oh, man, I hate having it. This has been coming out so much. And I cannot pronounce this, guys. Electronization. Oh my gosh, did I say it right? Well, maybe that's why it's been coming out so much. You know, Spirit's trying to teach me how to talk. We have data and backup and digital. A song started playing in my head when I said digital. Digital, digital. Is that what it says? That's not what it says. It didn't say digital. Where did that come from? Anyway, maybe that means something to somebody. Anyway. Give me one more. Madness. Unspeakable, ancient, and chaos. What can you expect from this person? This person's coming in to get their way, and I think that they're going to be confident that they're going to get that. I feel like this has to do with appearances. And honestly, I have a feeling that this person, it may not be as easy as they want it to be. You may bring up some stuff here because of this backup energy, data, and it can cause some kind of chaos. Because I think this way this person's coming in, this fated meeting, this relationship, the way they're approaching you, the way they're coming towards you, what can you expect? I feel like this person's coming in, taking a risk at wanting to you to have their back or be supportive in some kind of way. And it could have to do with their party energy, it could have to do with wherever they are, just something to do with being supportive in some way. This is self-focused though. This person wasn't there when you needed them. You know, they're not there when they're not the same friend for you as you are them. And they have some kind of understanding of themselves. That's how they're able to come to you in the energy that they are. Trying to own up to their situation, honor with dignity, but divine intervention. And Clown. This person, there's something going on in their life too. They're not talking to you about. That could be something karmic that's playing out in a negative way. Like they're getting their karma somehow or another. They're not talking to you about this. And they may even present it, if it does come up, as them being in abundance, like getting everything that they wanted, you know, but that's not true. Seven of Swords is here. Anyways, this person is worried about appearances though. But some stuff may get brought up. I don't feel like this person's gonna, I don't feel like they're gonna react that well, to be honest with you. Can you give me some clarifiers for these cards, please? Crown. Yeah, Courthouse. Coming in, kind of facing judgment, hoping for things to change. Mirror. Number 38. Yeah, appearances, about working on it, wanting to work on it, wanting to heal the situation, healing, improving the situation. Electronization. Main female. Okay, so there's something that's being brought up here around a main female energy. Could be, and there's that number 2. Y'all have the number 2. So it could be the relationship that you have with them when it comes to their loyalty, or you prioritizing you, or your importance in their life. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, courtship. Has to do with that. Or you could be bringing up someone else. What is madness here? As far as what's going to happen, what can they expect? Privileged lady. Number 12. This is a disagreement argument. This is like when two people, with that number 12 is the hanged man energy. It's like trying to see the other person's point of view or perspective. This just feels like somebody that's just kind of telling you whatever. I mean, they're not. This is somebody that's lazy. I mean, they just want something like to come easy to them. And if it doesn't, they'll just go with whatever, even if it's not what they want. Or have you ever gotten into like a heated conversation with somebody, and once you start to make a real point, they want to end it? They're like, I don't even know what we're talking about. I don't even know why we're here. I don't even know what. I don't want to argue, you know. And it's like, yeah, you don't want to argue because I'm getting the point. I'm telling you the point. Like, you just don't want to hear it because you want to stay in that mindset of what your side of the story is. This is an argument. This is an argument I'm seeing. Ooh, it may have to do with income and community. It may have to do with finances. It could have to do with something to privileged lady. Someone may be like, I'm gonna get out of this. It's starting to feel toxic. Change is there. Somebody may be like addressing who has the more difficult environment or community or something like that. And I don't like that at all, because I don't think that that's fair. Nobody should ever judge anyone else for the shoes that they're in, because we can say things in our life that we would do something a certain way or how easy something is. But then if we were in that position, it wouldn't be easy at all. You know, it's like, I don't like that. I don't feel like it's a fair way of looking at things. There's something, yeah, gift and concern. I don't think that this is a situation that you're going to like continue to give to the same way. I think you may give to it, but it's not going to be like it was. I feel like you don't trust the situation or this person. We have daydreaming. I'm always longing for you. I don't know that so much this person's longing for you, or it's just the comfortability that you brought. Yeah, understanding. I see your side of the story. See there? And secrets. This is somebody that's saying, oh, I can see how something came across. It's weird because I feel like you are more in a place of understanding like how things are and why they have gotten to where they are, or why they are how they are. This person is more focused about the facts or the circumstances. Does that make sense? Like they're more focused about the prioritizing their part that they played. Like they didn't do something wrong. I don't know this person's. What would this person say? I haven't told you everything. You're a better person than I am. Don't like that. I don't like that. That feels love bomby. You're telling you whatever you want to hear. Space. I need more time to think. Disagreements. Look right underneath understanding. I wish that you... I see your side of the story. I wish that you understood how I felt. Holding back. I should have expressed myself better. Yeah. This is someone that's saying, well, okay, I should have told you more. Or I should have said certain things. Or I should have let you know something. I still feel like they're not telling you the full truth. I still feel like they're holding back some things. There are some things here this person is not wanting to tell you, but they're going to see how you react to them before they express anything. If it goes south, this person won't tell you these things, obviously. So that's something that's there. Chemistry here. I have never felt passion like this intense. You're a better person than I am. This person may even do some, and indecisive is at the bottom. I know my ability to make a decision hurts you and neglected. And dishonesty. And reminiscing. This person does acknowledge the fact that they were, or maybe they're looking like that now, like they were indecisive about really what they wanted, but they didn't talk to you or express anything to you. So it came across as them being dishonest or neglectful, but I honestly feel like there is a lot that's going on here that this person is still not really acknowledging as far as taking their part of the situation, you know? I feel like the two of you are having a really hard time staying on the same page because there's a lack of trust here. With the lack of trust, there's a lack of loyalty, there's a lack of honesty, and there's a lack of being able to be vulnerable. And despite the chemistry that you feel, if you're not able to be vulnerable with that person, that really hinders the ability to even have a connection. And I think that's what you're figuring out here. This person feels very assured of themselves. But it feels more like a fake it till you make it kind of assurance. Not that they really are assured of themselves. I honestly feel like this person feels like they don't know what the hell they're doing. And life is just flinging them around like that ping pong ball. What advice do you have for... Holy hell, did y'all see the way that just flew out of the deck? That was creepy. Healthy changes, number 9. 9 and changes here. Look at that. Okay, it says, there's something in your life that isn't helping your body and mind. Focus on creating a wellness-focused mind and body. So for some of you, and I did see this, I'm going to bring it up, there is this like obsessiveness when it comes to this person and whatever they're doing in their life. Whatever's going on with them or whatnot. Gossip. So I would say if you've fallen into that toxicity, to pull yourself out of it, because I feel like you've done as much introspection that you can do with that being number 9. That's that hermity energy. We're talking about Virgo here, so we're talking about, you've analyzed it as much as you possibly could, took responsibility for whatever part you could, and you're needing to kind of focus on making healthy changes and healthy choices for your life and moving on from this. Yeah. I do feel like for some of you, if you can get to that place where you can, utilize those changes, I do feel like that this, spirits here, or spirit will reward you for being able to do that. Or, it's just not really, it's not even like a reward. It's just realizing like when you change yourself, you change your patterns, you change your routines, your way of thinking, other things around you start to change. And, yeah, that's part of it here as far as advice goes. And clash of opinions. Yeah, you may not ever agree with this person. They might ever agree with you. Ego is keeping you in a state of opposition, setback, detach, and rise above any petty setbacks that arise. I would say don't try to go head to head with this person. Don't try to battle it out with this person. This is seriously feels like a situation where if you have roots here in some way, shape, or form, this feels like having to just kind of reconcile your differences and move your separate ways, or reconcile and just kind of let it be. It is what it is. Just protect your boundaries here. I would say that's definitely something that's here. It's also the number 9. You have 16 here. Look, Divine Gifts is here twice. Y'all have something coming to you. Good news. Good news is coming to you here. It says, there are talents and spiritual gifts that you've been given but not using. Put yourself to good use. And that's what I was talking about here. Like, this has caught your focus, thrown you off your path in some kind of way. And then you have good news here. The wait is over. Expect to receive news to an important issue that will have a positive outcome. And it's the number 34. So there's some kind of message that you're going to be receiving here that's going to give you, it's going to have a really positive, this is like a tower moment for you. So this could be like a big abundance coming in, which could be this roots of abundance here. And emphasizing the fact that if this is advice with roots of abundance, what are you prioritizing? Yourself. What are you prioritizing when it comes to if you're focused on someone else's tree and how that's growing, you can neglect your own. So it's just saying, redo your focus here, refocus your energy back onto yourself here, and things will start to change for you. And there's something here that's waiting for you. It's just like Spirit's going to give them the call and they're going to offer it to you. There's some sort of a gift or abundance that's here. It's right here. It's something that you've been wishing for. You may have had some kind of concerns. This could have to do with some kind of ending. You may have had some concerns about this. Maybe something ending, or concerns about how you were going to end something, or concerns about like whatever this is. Like something that you've been worried about. I feel like there's going to be some kind of gift that clears this up for you, gives you some kind of good news, which can kind of kickstart this journey here to, you know, healthy changes. This was an interesting reading. This was not what I was expecting in this reading, not even the tiniest bit. I thought, and this could be part of it, you may have a new bond or relationship that's coming in here with this, because that's what I thought with number 2 in Roots of Abundance, you know. What advice do you have for pile 3 moving forward? This is, whoa. This is the Soul Truth Oracles. Okay, so we have, the first card was, what do I resist feeling right now? Maybe it's that ending, this being over. Closing the cycle out, closure. Sometimes this is like, certain situations, it's enough closure. We can't like get still searching for that little bit of detail of everything and everything and everything so that we can finally like close that out. But sometimes it doesn't have to make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes we'll never understand why certain people do the things that they do because we're not like that. And sometimes that's closure. Anyway, little rant. We have to feel it to heal it. In order to let go of the pain, we first must honor its existence. Emotions are like waves. Some are soft, some are fierce, some are layered, and some will sweep you off your feet. When we allow ourselves to feel it all, we can then release with what no longer serves you. And this doesn't serve you here anymore. This is about just letting it go. All the feelings that you have, getting to that point where you can. Allow yourself to feel the wave. Let it move through you. No matter how long it lasts, then release it back into the ocean. Feel it, heal it, enjoy the sweet freedom within your soul. Okay, short story. There's a situation that I experienced where I carry a lot of anger. Well, here's the thing. I'm not an angry person. I'm not a bitter person. I'm not a resentful person. And I'm not going to allow this situation to make me that way. I have experienced all kinds of turmoil and tremendous amounts of tower moments and situations in my life that I have worked through up until this point. I'm now 40 and I'm not going to allow anything to now affect me after I've already grown and went through all those situations. And I do get angry though. I do get really angry sometimes. I get really upset, really hurt, really sad sometimes about particular situation. And I've noticed that if you set in meditation and you allow yourself to feel those feelings in that moment and kind of just let them feel it through your body, then you set aside time to feel that way and you don't implement that feeling into all of the areas of your life. You know, you don't take it out on your friends or your family, or take it out on your house or whatever. You kind of set those intentions. Okay, I'm going to be angry for the next 5 minutes and sit in this anger and think about it. And then I'm going to release it and let it go. And I'm not going to think about it anymore. And that's so helpful. It is for me, but just might be something that may be helpful for y'all. Where am I called to use my voice right now? You have a soul script that was written to be spoken. Your story matters, and it's time for you to share it with the world. Some of y'all, there's something here to do with speaking from experience. Share your story with at least one person today. Be brave and speak your truth. Your voice will be a catalyst for healing in others. So speaking up, speaking your truth, and being very vocal about your experiences is something that I feel like however you've lived through things or healed through things could be also very helpful for others. Okay, some of y'all, this could be a actual life path that you have, you know, that is, you're predestined for you. Okay. We'll take it. Let's see. This is the Feminine Wisdom Tarot. Look at the deer. Look, it's the number 17. You have a gift, I'm telling you, coming towards you. Kindness. Love is action. Yes, it is. That deer in the background, that doe, is kind of like divine feminine energies. Okay. We have kindness. A beautiful quality is love is action. Love is love in action. Being considerate and generous. When in doubt, choose kindness, for your kindness heals hearts and nurtures people's souls. It's important to be kind to yourself in a period of your life. To heal your inner child, you must show yourself compassion and empathy. Choose to realize that we are all flawed, and that is absolutely okay to make mistakes. Offer yourself too. The gentle hand that you often and selflessly give to others. I am worthy of my own kindness. Oh, that was what I was talking about. And look, she's in meditation mode. So when you have those feelings of anger and, feelings that you don't want to feel, because they're not you, give yourself that kindness that you so easily give to everyone else. Just a reminder to give back to yourself. Be compassionate and give yourself empathy for that, because you are human, Okay, I saw wow me in the bowl, like automatically. I don't know what that was about, but you have the happy feet. So moving forward into a positive direction, you have the mermaid tail, which is like in between worlds, being in between worlds. So you're just kind of in the in between here. You have the rocket ship. So I would say once you kind of get to a comfortable place, or where you're closing this out, or after this, because the world is here, so that is definitely an ending. That's an ending of a chapter. So once you get to that closure period, I think that things are going to speed up for you really quickly. You have the black cat with the new moon. So intuitively, there's like these new beginnings are coming. You have you don't have a soul, you are a soul. Yeah. You have the cloud with rain, which is telling me, is it Gary Allen that's playing in my head? Every storm runs out of rain. Every heart runs out of pain. So, is that what he says in those lyrics? I think something like that. But that's what I see here, is like the cloud will move, Storm doesn't last forever. You just have to realize that. We have two Y's, TACMHSJWK NO and another W. But that could be wow or mom. Okay. There's a lot you can put here, so I'm just going to hold this up so y'all can see it. We already went pretty far in this reading. It's pretty long. If you stuck around, thank you so much. Thanks, guys, for giving me a chance and being here, and I appreciate y'all. I'm sending you so much love and light. Good luck, and I hope to see you soon. Hey, pile 4. So if you chose number 32, quieting the mind. Okay, so we're talking about, where is this relationship going? Where's it headed? What can you expect? Okay, so with this card, I feel like a lot of y'all, this could be a situation where you're trying to quiet your mind, meaning that you're trying to not be anxious. With 32-5, there could be some changes going on with you and this person pertaining to growth and expansion, and you're trying to not find yourself in a place to where you feel anxious here. You're trying to stay, maybe just to stay positive. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to dive into the oracles. I'm going to use the love oracles for y'all, and then we'll get some of the tarot, which I pulled the Tarot de Luz for y'all, which is a smaller deck. I haven't used in a while. Okay, so we want to know about your relationship that you have right now. Okay, so tell me about the connection for pile 4 right now. What's going on in it right now? Change, yeah. So this has to do with changes that are taking place. Growth, expansion, some changes. Yep, fear, being afraid, anxious because of some changes here. You have romantic feelings, so you have emotions here for this person, and this could be it. Maybe this is something new, and you're starting to get emotions here for this person. For other of y'all, you just may be afraid of unfinished business. That kind of throws us out of there, huh? Bottom of the deck. Oof. Third party energy. We have Mask, proposal, third-party energy. Okay, here, I got to be honest with you. For some of you, I am feeling this is somebody that you may be catching feelings for. That's definitely something that's here. What's going to happen with this relationship? Unfinished business. Okay. I need to get the tarot. This is going in a different direction than I thought. Let me go ahead and start shuffling here. Tarot de Luz. This one's got me stuck. This one's got me stuck. This feels like you may be catching feelings for somebody that either is already with someone else or that you're already with someone else. You know, you could be... Hold on. I'm not going to keep guessing. Let's just get the tarot. Tell me about change. That's the Ace of Wands. That's an opportunity. Opportunity to change things, or the opportunity that could change things. Fear. That's the Page of Wands in the reverse. He's holding the wand. That is the Page of Pentacles with romantic feelings. You get a message that you're not expecting from someone, and this could change things for you. It brings on some fears because this is someone that's offering you, like, this is an emotional offer. Unfinished business. The Lovers in reverse. Ace of Wands. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands. Guys, this feels like somebody, I don't know if they have somebody or you have somebody. Confirmation. Let me take a look and see what that is for sure, because that's my door. Front door. Just the mailman. He's early today. That's throwing me off. Anyway. Yeah, this unexpected energy could be this. Like a message from somebody that you're not expecting. You're afraid of this. Why are you so anxious and afraid? This is maybe because you're attracted to this person. This is someone that you are very attracted to. What's going to happen? I don't know if y'all know who this is, or it's like on the fence of who this is when it comes to this. Yeah, I mean, what was that? Another package. I hope it was another package, because, yeah, that's what it was. It's somebody taking a picture of my front door. Okay, so, sorry, let's get it together, okay? Let's get it together. Reel it in here. This is throwing me off. Okay, let me tell you why this is throwing me off so bad. You have proposal and third-party energy. This is with mask and between the lines and party. This feels like somebody that's offering you, like you would be the third wheel here in some way, shape, or form. Or this is you, you know. This is strange. Quieting your mind. It's like you're trying not to think about this, because I feel like you are very attracted to this person. But there's this message here that comes in. You have a 5 of Cups here. There's a message that comes in. This is an emotional message. It has to do with being lonely or missing someone, or has some regrets, or some mistakes that they made here. This is a tangible, like, apology or offer that's coming in from somebody. This could be somebody new, and, you know, maybe there's just, like, you know, wanting to hang out with somebody. Maybe they feel kind of lonely or something like that. You know, it doesn't matter. It's different for everybody, but there is this someone that's coming towards you, someone that you are attracted to, but this is someone that either you already have something going on or they already have something going on. Because one way or another, that there's a third party energy here in the mix. Like, this is somebody that's offering, like, wanting to have a change in the situation, but they're offering something that is more lustful than committed. What a weird reading. What is the Lovers in reverse? This is not what I was expecting. I just pulled 2 cards and it's the... No kidding. It's the King of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. I feel like for some of y'all, you have 2 kings here. Unfinished business. This could be somebody that's still in the process of moving on from someone else. Or this could be you, and you're in a place to where you're questioning how you feel about someone. This is causing you to question how you feel about someone. The point is of this, as I said, all of this feels anxious. The point of all this is quieting the mind. It's like you're trying to avoid falling into temptation. That's what it feels like. Yeah, because this is making a choice here. So you could create some baggage here if you were to fall in line with this, or you already have. Tell me about these aces. Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. 3 of Cups. Guys, this is... I am telling you, this is somebody that's wanting to spark something up with you, but they may be coming across like a friend, but they're indulging into something that's lustful. This is somebody that's very attracted to you. They want to start something here with you. Tell me about the King of Wands. Where is this headed? You may be afraid of where this is headed. Temperance. Sagittarius. The thing is that you do feel very attracted to this person, or you're attracted to the balance that they bring to you. Like the way you feel around this person. Somehow or another, it makes you anxious because of the balance that you feel. This wanted to turn over. This is a lot of cards. But you have the 2 of Cups of Death in reverse. The Moon, there's that change. The World. If you are in something currently, or something that somebody's in currently, this is like a big significant difference to what you're experiencing or what they're experiencing at this time. Either you're completely different, or this person's completely different from what you're experiencing at this time. So why is that 5 of Cups here with that Page of Pentacles? The romantic feelings. The Wheel of Fortune. This can be like having to turn something down because you have obligations elsewhere, you know? King of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. Someone that maybe you're distant from. This could also be like, I have to do this first. This can look like not having, you know, romantic feelings for someone. Give me one more for that. Yeah, King of Cups in reverse. It's either your heart is no longer in something, or this is this person telling you this. This could be like, hey, you know, like this could be somebody that's already with someone else, but their obligations are with that person, but they're not romantically, like they don't have romantic feelings for that person. Meanwhile, they're lusting after you, you know, or this could be your energy, and this is someone coming in that you're starting to really chive with, you know, and you start to have these like feelings for, but you don't want to hurt someone else in the mix of that. Gemini energy's down here. You have 4 Pentacles. There's someone else that you're still holding on to. But why is it in reverse, though? See how they're both hugging here, too, in these cards? With unfinished business. Queen of Cups. This feels like you just don't want to hurt someone else. Whether that's your person or someone else's person, I don't think it matters. I feel like this is just like needing to protect yourself here because you don't want to create some kind of baggage. You know, you don't want to hurt someone else. What's the Three of Wands? You may be distant from this person with this Three of Wands energy. The Moon in reverse. This can be like not wanting to lead someone on, needing to put distance. It could be needing to put distance between you and this other person because you don't want to lead them on. I feel like this is the other person. Other obligation here. And trying to protect someone else's emotions or heart. Like, you may be distant from this person and you're waiting to reveal how you feel, you know? Six of Pentacles in the reverse. When it comes to the balance, when it comes to the give and take. But I feel like there's a feeling here of trying to be considerate or trying to be fair. This feels like drama. Justice is at the bottom. Nope, it's Justice. Justice is playing out. Four of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, the truth. Ace of Swords. There's a truth that's like being revealed here about how you feel when it comes to your stability, your foundation, your sense of security. There's like this awareness or truth that's being like revealed about what's fair. There's two people here for sure. What is going on here? What's going to happen here moving forward with this? Four, Pile 4. What is going to happen here moving forward? King of Swords. All the kings are all the kings are out. This is hard because this is like, there's a feeling of knowing what's right, knowing what you should do, knowing that you feel like this attraction or you feel like this drive, but your heart is not in something. Or that's what you're missing is, let's keep going. There's something to do with being worried about someone manipulating you or manipulating a situation. Like, I don't know. There's this overall feeling of I want to be fair to everyone in this circumstance. But I need to be also honest with myself as well. And there's a realization around what that honesty is. What's going to happen here moving forward? So the King of Swords feels like a conversation, the Star, about no longer seeing a future, no longer being happy, not knowing what you want. Aquarius, double Aquarius there. You have a Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this is like no longer seeing something as beneficial or what it is that you want. Having a conversation. The Eight of Swords, being kind of trapped in your head about it. The Two of Cups, when it comes to a relationship. This is a conversation or kind of, maybe it's just in your mind, thinking about a relationship and what you really want as far as a relationship really goes. That Eight of Swords, this is quieting your mind. You're trying to like figure out what it is that you want here. So this is what you can expect from yourself, is to either, some of you, this is a conversation that you may be waiting to have, or for some of you, this is just you in your head, and you're looking at this and going, it's this whole thing, and I think its purpose is to make you question what you really want, what that really looks like. So that's what you're doing, and you're trapped in your head about it. For some of you, this is someone bringing this to you, like, hey, I am trapped in my head about this relationship between the two of us. I don't know if this is either what I want, or it's the two holding the cups up with their head down. All these people have their head down. It's like being disappointed or being afraid to disappoint someone else. Either someone is telling you this about a third party, like, I don't want to disappoint this person, but I don't have emotions for them, or I don't feel inspired by them, or I don't feel like what I feel with you. You know, that kind of feeling is there. That's something that's there. Or this is you, and you're looking at someone and you're saying, I do not want to hurt you, but I have to also be honest with myself. And I'm feeling weird, or I'm feeling different about what I thought I wanted. But I still love you, you know, I still care about you. King of Swords. The Chariot, Cancer energy. Yeah, this is, I feel like you or someone's going to take control here in the future with this. Because there's an opportunity for change on the table. Something needs to change. Look, you have the Ace of Cups now in reverse. That's like no longer feeling good about a relationship, or not having emotions there. You don't feel the same way. Or someone doesn't feel the same way. Either they're expressing this to you, or this is you and how you feel. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. If they're expressing this to you, this could be about a third party energy, because third party is here. You have the Empress in reverse now with the Ten of Pentacles. There's something here to do with being independent, or not having someone that does rely on you in some way. But this can also talk about what you're able to grow from this, you know, and not feeling like something is not what you want. Eight of Swords. Judgment in reverse. Scorpio energy. You have Libra and Taurus here too. Yeah, this is, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. Okay, so which side of the fence you're on here. In the future, you're going to be faced with making a decision. And I feel like it has to do with being honest with yourself about taking control of the situation and understanding what it is that you truly want in the situation, and being honest about that with yourself and being honest to the other person. Yeah, the Fool with the Two of Cups. So for some of you, this can be like a brand new beginning, a brand new relationship starting over. This can be like taking a risk on a relationship, and that's what you want to do. Aries energies there. Yeah, you have the Page of Cups in reverse. There may be kind of either an obligation here, or someone may react. The Emperor. So now you have the Empress and the Emperor here. This could have to do with someone having to be in a particular situation because of obligations, like having to step up. So they have this commitment that they have to follow through with here. Or this is somebody that's in a situation to where someone reacts harshly, I guess you could say, to you saying this. Yeah, the Devil. That clarified that. So the Page of Cups in reverse can be like someone being very immature. So this could be somebody that you're seeing now because of this. You're seeing this reaction from this person, and you're seeing the darker sides to how. I mean, that's especially if you're like walking away from someone, you're gonna see how you're gonna see them in a different way because they've never had to experience that or deal with that. You know. Capricorn, Aries. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. So this can be someone that kind of reacts in a way where they're really pressuring you. You know, they're putting the fear in you or putting the anxiety on you, wanting to work something out, wanting to work it out, wanting to work together. Yeah, and the Magician's at the bottom. This is all in the Eight of Cups in the world. Okay, so I don't know whose side of the fence you're on here. You're going to have to put the pieces where they fit. You could be the third party. You could be this person. You could be someone else. You could be the other person. I don't know. But the Magician is saying that this is like something that's been manifested because somebody here has not been happy or satisfied or been wanting to emotionally detach or has been in the process of that, walking away, closing out a chapter. Like there's a conclusion. Like somebody's been in the process of figuring out what they should do as far as closing a cycle out. Yeah. And that's what's happening here, is it's all kind of playing itself out. Let's get I want to get messages from who this is, but I feel it's important to get some kind of what you can expect. So let's just do that with this. What can they expect moving forward in the future from this? The reason I want to do that is because there's somebody here, either they feel obligated to uphold a commitment, or their reaction is that of persistence, of wanting you to hold on or work out a commitment here. Does that make sense? Roll the dice just popped out, which is that full energy. Taking a risk. For some of you, this is something that you're going to take a risk on. And you may even feel like there's some shadow stuff going on here. What's going to happen here? What's going to unfold in the future for pile 4? Yeah, a crossroads. You're going to have to make a choice. So it's not going to tell me too much because I feel like you are going to go different ways when it comes to this commitment that you're making. Choice, multiple options, and turning point, and indecisiveness. Or indecisive. Yeah, right, with reconciliation. Reunion, second chance, back together, and I miss you. And you have home here. Comfort, security, belonging, and shelter. The bottom of the deck is spiritual awakening. You have date under that. Addiction and ex-lover. I'm telling you, you know what this feels like? It's going to result in somebody else's obsessiveness. This is hard for a reader because it feels like walking into some sort of karmic situation that is part of your personal experience, like something that it's like I can't stop you, you know. But you're making a decision based off of what you need to do for yourself. That's the most important thing, and continue to stay in that situation or that decision. Because I feel like if you don't, you may always constantly be thinking about the what if in some sort of way. So whatever this has to do with, whatever it is, you're realizing like where your heart is or what you really feel like you want or you want to do or try or go for. And that could actually affect someone else in a negative way, unfortunately. And I feel like that person may not react the best. It may make things more difficult on you, but I think ultimately you're making the choice that you feel like is right or best for you. Tell me about crossroads. Give me some more advice or more clarification here about crossroads. Affair. Mistress, third party, it's here twice. Tell me about reconciliation, reunion, second chance, back together, I miss you. Hope. Wish, expect, and desire. I would say this. If you're falling in line to the person that is sitting in a situation where someone comes in and they're wanting to have something maybe lustful with you, but you have romantic feelings for this person, I would just say be very careful of that. I don't think this person has any anticipation of commitment there, and you may already be aware of that, but you could fall in that trap for some of you of missing this person, this reconciliation kind of energy, and wishing or desiring or hoping or putting some kind of expectation that this person is going to leave that third party. There's some kind of obligations or commitment or contract or something going on there, so I wouldn't, just be careful of that. Home. Yeah, divine intervention. Serendipity, catalyst, karma. Threats is at the bottom, yeah. Money, life, violence, and privacy. Finances is under that. This is a crazy reading for me as a reader. The different scenarios that are coming through, situations.
How do you spell spawn?
Spawn?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spawn to 7, like that.
Oh my gosh.
Spawned.
There you go.
Spawned.
There you go. Love you.
Right.
I'll be done in just a minute. Okay, we'll get some lunch. Sorry, guys. My little one's homesick. I don't know if I told y'all that. With home and divine intervention, I do feel like that obviously karma is a part of this when it comes to your stability, your comfort, your home. And that's different for everybody. You got to figure out what that looks like to y'all. And that's part of this reading is this opportunity that comes in could change things for you. It's going to change a lot of things here for you. But you have to decide what exactly it is that you want from this or what you don't want from this. You have to decide what your stability looks like. And I think that's the whole point is it's like having like a wake up call here, you know, about what it is that you actually want. What does your home look like? You know, this is the divine intervention coming in saying, okay, what do you want your home to look like? What do you want your peace? What looks like security to you? Where is that? You know, is that here, there, or there? And there's someone else here that I feel like feels the threat of that. Kind of like you choosing yourself or choosing to do something for yourself. For others of you, if you are disrupting someone else's situation in some way and you know and you're being a part of that and participating in that, unfortunately, that could result in some sort of lack of stability in your own life as a result, because you're kind of placing yourself in someone else's drama. You know, you're placing yourself in someone else's karma in some way, if that makes sense. So I'd just be careful of that. What would this person say to you? Well, we have soul tie. I always feel connected to you. Mend. I want to fix our connection. So this could be somebody here that's trying to have some kind of reconciliation with you. We have destiny here. I'm struggling to find the right path. That feels like your energy if that's what we just talked about. We have the runner here. I don't want to run anymore. Unexpected income. Things didn't go the way I planned. Yeah, be careful of that. It's right on top of that wish card. And disagreements. I wish I understood how I felt. I wish you understood how I felt. But hey, that's what this feels like to me, is like you're trying to figure out how you feel about all of this. But you may also be kind of telling that to someone else, someone that you may be hurting, you know. We have reminiscing at the bottom. For some of you, this is like someone from your past returning when you're already in something else. Or maybe they have something else going on. I miss our inside jokes, and third party is there again. There were other things that got in the way of us being together. I'm just going to say this one time, and then we're going to wrap this up. There may be someone that is kind of in a situation that they may not want to be in, or they don't have a lot of romantic feelings there, or there's just things going on, or maybe, hell, I don't know, maybe they're bored. They may be reminiscing about you and their experience with you and wanting to kind of come back around, seeing what can, you know, spark things up, confirmation, but not making you any promises because they have other obligations or wishes. And it may end up putting you back into, like they're coming in to disrupt your foundation or stability in some way. And you have to choose whether you're going to allow that to happen or not. And that's going to be different for everybody. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do, because first off, everybody has a different situation that's going on here and how you resonate with this reading. Secondly, you have free will, and whatever choice that you made, the sky's solution. Whatever choice that you make is the choice that you're needing to make in order to, you know, for your own lessons and growth in your own journey. So what kind of advice can you give to Pile 4? Look, it came out again. Number 7, disguise solution. The solution is disguised as a problem. What you perceive to be a problem is pushing you towards a more favorable solution. So what I'm telling you, whatever this opportunity is, what it's bringing to you is insight about yourself. Why do I feel like this would be better? Why do I feel like I should go in this direction? Why do I still have all these emotions or feel so lustful towards this person, or, whatever it is? Why am I feeling unsettled here in this? Whatever the case. This feels kind of like whatever you feel like is a problem here in this situation could actually be the solution to you being on your path or on the right path. We have sacred sexuality, number 44. So there's that lustfulness that's here. Honor yourself and your body as a sacred vessel that is, and refuse to give yourself away to those that do not honor and respect you. So for some of you, if there's someone returning here, that could be the advice that you're given there. Divine gifts is at the bottom. Number 16. It says there are talents and spiritual gifts that you have been given but not using. Put yourself to good use. So for some of you, you may have been putting certain things on the back burner, dealing with the situation here. This is like pulled you off of your path in some way that you're, this is like an opportunity for you to get back on your path. Okay. Let's see what Soul Truth Oracle we have. These readings were not what I was expecting. These came out different. What else could this mean? What can I burn? That's interesting. What else could this mean? There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Yep, that's what this reading looks like. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears, there we go, and limiting beliefs. Look at the situation by stepping outside of your trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Is there something that your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a path that is ready to be broken? Walk in the walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? You also have, what can I burn? Burn it. Burn it all. The ugly lies, the pain, the shame, the criticism. Some of y'all, this is like maybe something you're worried about. The images that run through your head, the reminders of what you did wrong, and the proof that you are enough, or not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It's time for a rebirth. You are like the phoenix rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. You free yourself. Your wings are ready. Use them. Make the choice that you will no longer let the past define you. Pick up your pen. What will be the next chapter? What will the next chapter look like? Good grief, guys. I need to go take a break. I need to go take a break. Okay. One of the feminine wisdom oracles. You don't have to be a feminine to have these. These are just about what you need to do in order to nurture yourself moving forward. We have discipline. Yeah, something about this getting you off your path. You have 23 and 32 here, so that mirroring. It says constant effort and order. Okay. So I do feel for a lot of you, this has been something that has taken you off your path in some way. Okay. Self-control. Control gained by constant effort and order. Choose discipline. Pair it with consistency and watch magical things unravel. The only way towards your destiny. Sorry, I had a message coming through. So it's like there's this intensity of something coming in and kind of throwing you from your discipline of where you are and like consistency of where you are. And I don't think some of you have kind of realized it. And this is like being able to put that to rest so that you can get back on your path. This is part of this awakening, needing to see this. The only way towards your destined life is through continuous effort, hard work, and consistent actions outside of your comfort zone. Self-discipline is an inner strength that needs to be practiced consistently. You are invited to review your current lifestyle, thoughts, habits, and repeating patterns that stopped serving you a long time ago. The time has come to recognize your life, take necessary changes, face the hard truths, and apply the knowledge that you already hold within. I am strong enough to break my bad habits. I am capable of self-discipline. Number 59. So guys, for some of you, this has to do with that. It has to do with you being disciplined in yourself in this situation, you know. Okay, and what you want, what you believe, what you think, whatever this is, and sticking to that belief. All right. You have the pumpkin, so something significant could have happened around October, the end of October. But this can also be like playing games or not seeing something for what it is, you know, something, being afraid of something. You have choose happy. Choose whatever makes you happy. It's hard if you don't know what that is, right? You have to put yourself into that situation, like that card said. Take a step back, look at it, and put yourself in the other person's shoes, or just put yourself in, like, outside of the situation altogether and see. B, R, W, or M, E, K, break is something that's there. Maybe you need a break. Q, G, F, A, P, gap. Yeah, that's this here too with this King of Pentacles and Three of Wands, like putting some distance between you and someone to see. See how that feels. See what it feels like. We have TX, Texas could be important. We have Z, Elmer, W, and an I. Guys, I know I completely over-explained this reading. I'm sorry for that, but the way I'm reading it is I can see it through like 3 different people's eyes in the same situation. So it's hard to, like, I would recommend this though, if you are struggling with that and where you sit, watch it with your perspective, watch it with the other person's perspective, and see kind of, you know, what you gain from the reading. Okay. I'm going to leave this here so y'all can see it. And so thanks so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I hope this helps. Good luck to everybody, and I hope to see you soon.